Sometimes the game is so silent, I don't know if my headphones are working. I still don't know if my headphones are working. It is working. Okay, good. There's US sounds. Alright. Hello. This stream is not going to be the most... Well, maybe... Actually, you know what? I'm probably going to talk... If it's not obvious, I'm going to talk about Chung Yun. That's why he's here. Yeah, the Chung Yun video did well. A bit, like, man... I don't, like... It was not obvious. Part of how and why I structured the video the way I did is because, like... I don't like doing meta comparisons, generally speaking. But hello. I made that comparison simply because it was a rare opportunity to make like a one-to-one comparison to a unit that is perceived as extremely strong, right? Shalona. And she is very strong. But arguably... I could do, like, maybe I should do more of this same format of videos and just stop having my personal minor qualms with wishy-washy terms and just embrace the value of wishy-washy terms. And yes, I'm going to address the really stupid mistake I made in the Chung Yun video. I will explain where that mistake came from. I updated the pinned comment because I'm stupid. And I was watching Jeff react to the video, and he pointed out, and I was like, "Oh my god, how did I?" And I realized the mistake and why I made the mistake. Anyways, it's fine. The good thing about using Chungus is freeing Shalom for another team. Yeah, exactly. Which is kind of like one of the things I was tempted to do, but I chose to focus more on like, hey, doing some stuff with Dehya, because I think some of the nuance with Dehya is actually, in more ways, more interesting on paper than with Arlecchino. But Arlecchino is like the character that is much stronger and more people are going to get value out of, right? And if I made a video like saying Chung Yun is meta, here's how he makes Dehya better, like assuming like I got really good at playing the Dehya Chung Yun team, because I think I can get better at timing things in the right way. I don't think people would have agreed with the overall comparison, right? But Dehya does as much damage as Guoba, exactly, and Guoba is overpowered. Well, look. The fact of the matter is, any amount of pyro DPSing can be pretty good. Okay, like pyro damage dealing has the ability to scale quite highly. Mark my words, I will get better at playing Chung Yun Dehya, and that team will get better. To be clear, not like I don't think it's gonna get better than like Dehya Farina teams. The reason being, I forgot immediately. Thank you, Ryuji, for the $6.99 CAD. With no message attached, just giving me money for no reason. I appreciate it. Free $7. Yeah, thanks. What was I saying? So yeah, Dehya Farina is probably going to be a stronger team than Dehya Melt, because Dehya Melt teams, generally speaking, versus Dehya Vaporize teams, you can get more personal damage from Dehya, theoretically, but one, it's really hard to find teams. Like even Kaya C6 with Dehya and Sitlolly, when I asked the Jeff to check that, like Kaya C6 usually enables, like, well, not usually, he inconsistently enables the final melt, like because Kaya C6 cryo application timing is a goofy, is all it is. So like even Kaya C6, right, is my point, is not necessarily enough to get consistent melts throughout Dehya's bursts because of how the timing of her pyro application lines up, which is really funny. So it's quite hard to get Dehya Melt to work in a way that competes with Vaporize, mostly because Farina exists, and Farina existing at all, I don't know if you knew, but Farina does damage. And one thing that can happen in Dehya teams a lot is you accidentally overtake with Pyro with Dehya, depending on the timing of the Hydra application. And that's fine because it causes Farina to get a Vaporize, which is... I'm gonna be nice to Dehya and say arguably better for the team damage, but it's basically a circumstance of either way there's beneficial reactions happening. Whereas like with Dehya Melt teams, if you end up overtaking with Pyro, which is much easier to happen than in a Hydro team, you end up just thank you again for $3.99 CAD. So anyway, did I get Farina on the casual account? Nope. Although we'll probably go log into that account and try to finish the event. But that's the main thing I was actually referencing to in the title. I have to do the event, and I have to do... Well, I do have to do this. And I have to do this. Oh, this has 2 days left. Oh, this has the entire patch left. Okay, my bad. I thought this was only 14 hours left as well, but I want to do this. So, anyways, and then we might do ice bridging. We might... Yeah, I'm sorry. Look, it's on my mind. I might do ice bridging. So, anyways, the Dehya Chung Yun context, right? And my point being, I don't think people would have called that meta if I focused the video on that. But in a lot of ways, it's the same thing, right? Where my perspective on things, and this is the hard part to try to communicate when I'm like titling and thumbnailing and like structuring my videos in some form, is that if you can find any circumstance where a character's like specific kit nuance, such as, you know, C2 Chung Yun giving cooldown reduction, I think he can be considered a meta character, right? Where like if there's something unique that can like cause them to be included in a team where the mechanic is important to the team functioning and the team can get good amounts of damage output, I think they can be a meta character, right? Which is a very, very loose definition of meta. Most people's definitions of meta aren't really defined. Most people would define meta very loosely as just the characters people are using a lot, right? People would say Sitlali, Kazuha, Muika, Arlecchino, Farina, Shalonin, are all meta. Bennett, of course, Xiangling, Xingqiu probably would be included. You know, right? The obvious ones that characters that get used a lot, right? Official, yeah. Well, okay. There's some people that would disagree with official because reasons, but anyways. But what if I made a video like titled C6 is not C6, just is Candace meta, right? By the way, I was very I'm annoyed that Mihoyo. I was gonna hopefully post a video today yapping about the banner. This is what I was gonna do last night, and after I was done with doing stuff with my friends, and they didn't announce the banners. I wanted them to announce the 4 stars in the banner so that I could like talk about the 4 stars in the banner. So I don't know if they announce that tonight, then I might have a video tomorrow, or maybe they announce it tomorrow. I'll have a video maybe releasing on Tuesday, like during maintenance, maybe, I guess. I don't know. It's a little bit annoying. Like I know like any smart Genshin YouTuber did like banner review videos or like who should you wish for in Genshin 5.5. I could have made that video already because it's mostly going to be talking about the 5 stars anyways. But like I wanted to wait till the 4 stars were officially announced because of the fact that supposedly Gaming and Faruzan might be on the Cloud Retainer Veresa banner, which in my opinion does change the value of that banner significantly. So I really was waiting for that to happen. Anyways, Faruzan DPS video. Did I not already make a Faruzan DPS video? I believe I did. I don't know if there's anything I can do again. I don't think I need to say Faruzan is meta, because in the context of like how much she enables, like, people understand that this character's C6 at least enables, you know, the animo DPSing to be real crazy. So anywho's, they're probably gonna reveal the banner on Monday, yeah, which means it might be a Tuesday video. So anyways, anyway, so that video might still be coming, but slightly anyway, they haven't revealed the 4 stars yet. So anyways, if I made it late, if I make it, could I make a video called is, like, to be clear, I generally speaking like to structure my videos with questions in ways that are like, the answer is yes, or if it's a challenge, the end of the challenge, like the title of the video will be like asking a question, can I do this? And the answer is, hopefully if I'm doing this video, the answer is generally yes, unless like if the challenge is a failure and there's something interesting as a side effect that's still about that challenge. Like if I do like a Spiral Abyss challenge, like one stupid idea on my list, I have no idea how viable this is because I haven't seriously thought it out, is like, can Spiral Abyss, but can I or what, I don't know what the exact title is. Spiral Abyss, but I must die, I believe is like something like the title or whatever is my and like, what does that mean? Well, the idea was like, okay, if you go through each Spiral Abyss chamber, but I have to have at least one character die, So that in the final chamber, I have at most 2 characters kind of thing, right? That should be doable, particularly in certain Abyss cycles, particularly with really strong characters. So I might have to put like more rules to, you know, not just like cheese things with the strongest characters. But anywho's, right? My point with it is that, like, generally speaking, that would be, I think, a concept that is interesting enough that if I fail the challenge, I think there's interesting lessons that could be learned of it. But I suspect I would be successful. And therefore, like, when I'm usually titling things, I'm usually titling and like asking a question and the answer is yes. So if I make a video like, I don't know, what's a character that I would consider is, most people would say universally is not very meta. And to be clear, my definition of meta is like, right, is there... Look, I don't think Goro's a particularly good boy. He's a bad dog. I'm sorry. It's not his fault. It's his upbringing. It's Mihoyo's fault. Okay? It's not his fault. But there's obviously niche mono geo scenarios that, like... Yeah. Dory... Maybe. Dory has some unique weird kit shenanigans with the way her skill works that I don't... Yeah, I guess it's not meta. But yeah. So, like, we could use her as an example. Most people would consider her not meta, right? So if I made a video saying, is Dory meta now? Maybe? Like, maybe that would be fine, right? I mean, maybe I should just embrace that concept of video, of just exploring the way, and it would not be formatted the exact same as the Chung Yun video. The Chung Yun video, again, was like a unique circumstance of, like, the reason I even formatted it in this way is just because of recognizing this opportunity to directly compare to a unit that basically everyone agrees is very good, aka meta. So, you know, like I think it's maybe worth exploring videos around that idea. And I want to use, like, Candace as an example, where, like, I think there is definitely some people that understand Candace has some niche utility. To a level that, like, in the same vein as Chung Yun, I would argue it's not fundamentally different from Chung Yun, where, like, Chung Yun has some niche utility with his, you know, skill cooldown reduction or whatever else potentially. Candace has some niche utility as well. The 3 main examples are actually, well, I'll just use 2 for now to keep things simple. But the 2 main examples would be, of course, Mualani synergy, because of, you know, Mualani not wanting the extra Hydra application, but having Hydra resonance is quite good, and she buffs normal attack damage, so normal attack damage bonus is what her damage type is. She can help you with doing swirl setups as well, yeah, she's just quite good with Mualani. And then there's, of course, Candace C6 with, like, Arlecchino, right? So another Arlecchino synergy, right? Like Chung Yun with Arlecchino, but now Candace with Arlecchino, and that's the AoE Hydra application matchup, basically. I already made a video about that. I don't remember if I titled it "Is Candace Meta?" I'd have to go check, right? But in my perspective of things, the conclusion is the same, but for some reason I feel like people would disagree more with that sentiment. I don't know exactly why. But anyways, what was the mistake in the Chungus bit? Oh yeah, so anyway, the finish of the, like, yap about, like, what meta means. I don't know, right? Point is, meta is a wishy-washy term, and maybe I should just embrace its wishy-washiness and format videos in that way more because, like, I oftentimes can find some kind of niche utility in some weird way for a character kit. In order to, like, make an argument that, like, the fact that this character has something unique means they can find, even if it's niche, they can find a spot where they might replace a strong character like Shilonen, you know, like Chung Yun does for Shilonen, and then your Shilonen can be freed for the other team, kind of thing. But you could also argue that meta is, you know, the most useful characters that fit in the most teams and cover the most different situations, right? Like, there's different ways you can define meta in a single player game, right? And ultimately, it depends on the kind of player you are. It's a wishy-washy term. I don't know, right? So it's why I tend to avoid the term. Because it almost means nothing in some ways to me. I don't think I'm a lot of people call me a non-meta player. And, like, yes, but no. Because, like, I don't know, using Farina is a fairly meta thing to do. But, yeah, whatever. The mistake I made with Chung Yun, and this is a really stupid mistake. So I said in the video that theoretically you can go down to like 13.6 second cooldown And that's because, and I gave that number based on this being the highest skill cooldown that gets reduced by Chung Yun. So this gets reduced by 2.4 seconds. So that means it's 13.6 seconds, and theoretically, you know, a little bit under 14-second rotations. Which would be really nice if that were true. It's not, because I'm a dumb arse, and I forgot Chung Yun's skill cooldown is 15 seconds. And the reason this happened isn't because, like, oh, Strimmer just thought that Chung Yun's own skill cooldown was reduced. Like, I wish it was, by the way. I wish Chung Yun C2 reduced his own skill cooldown. I think that's kind of lame that it doesn't. But that was not what happened. That was not why I made the mistake. The reason I made that mistake was because before, like, I first started doing this stuff, like, I played around with this team, with Arlecchino in particular, for like a good week at least before actually starting recording that video and figuring out how I wanted to do it. When I looked at his talent information, my dumbass brain saw a field duration of 10 seconds and thought that was the cooldown. I thought his skill cooldown was 10 seconds. Yep. That's why I didn't mention it. So that's why I thought that Lolly skill was with 16 seconds being reduced by 15% to 13.6 was the limiter. Derp, I updated the pinned comment. That explains why, like, I thought, the funny part is like, I thought the reason I was generally speaking only getting 15-second rotations at best when I was playing well, was because of the fact that I was just playing a little bit sloppy, or that there was animation times and whatever. But no, I don't, to be clear, that might be that still is kind of a limiter. But I actually, like, after watching over the footage in particular of a bunch of my attempts playing with Chung Yun, I can see times where, like, I swap back to Chung Yun and it's got like a second left on the cooldown or whatever, or half a second left on the cooldown. So theoretically, if Chung Yun did reduce his own skill cooldown, right, there is like slight amounts of rotation time which could improve team damage functionally. That could be lessened if he didn't have a 15-second cooldown, or if his C2 expected his own thing, or if he had a 10-second cooldown like I thought. The slightly interesting thing, and this is what I put in the pinned comment and why I have Sack Greatsword on him right now, because I'm going to mess around more with this. Sack Greatsword can reset his skill cooldown such that you can do these like 13.6 second cooldown or 13.6 second rotation theoretically. But I don't think it really matters that much in practice. Especially because this is only going to be a trigger every other rotation thing. But it is an option, and I wish I had recognized that for the video and mentioned it, and I might have actually specifically messed around with this with Arlecchino more. So, oh well. Oopie doopies. Is a mistake. Ultimately, I don't think really changes the conclusion or anything, because I, wasn't just saying things. I instead went out of my way to make most of the video, to like 2/3 of the video at least, directly. Was it 2/3? I think it was no, I don't know. It was at least half. Showing, hey, here's Chung Yun being similar to Shilonen, Shilonen C2, right? Not in every situation. That's the reason, there's a comment, right, that people are like, oh, you didn't have to, like, go this in depth. You could have just, like, shown the Vishaps, and honestly, the Vishaps was enough. And, like, yeah, I don't disagree that the Vishaps is kind of enough for the simpler perspective, but I also think it's pretty important that I showed, the Ruin Guard chamber, where, right, Shilonen had a clear that significantly beat Chung Yun, and, like, the Chung Yun clear I could have gotten, that I included in the video in that same chamber. I could have optimized more. I'm quite confident of that, but I don't think I would have gotten down to 33 seconds. It's possible I actually might have been able to if I put... I think I could have, if I put him on Sack Greatsword, knowing that now, and I put him on Instructors, and played well, I think I theoretically could have, like, gotten to a probably... I got a 42-second clear in the video with obvious improvements just with the build I had. I bet I could get to, like, 38 seconds or 35 to 38 seconds. So, like, still quite close to a C2 Shilonen, right? So, anyways. Clearance time if Shilonen was C1 instead of C2? I mean, yes. Yes. I had C2 Shallonen, and that was giving me bonus attack on Arlecchino. So, yes. Was it doing an insane amount relative to, like, what Bennett buff is doing? Not necessarily. Like, Bennett buff is buffing approximately, like, 3 times the amount that Arlecchino C2 is. But Arlecchino C2 is definitely not doing nothing, for sure, for Arlecchino there. So, you know, that's why I removed her signature weapon, is because I couldn't turn off, you know, the C2 attack percent in any meaningful form. Because, like, I could turn off, like, Shallonen C2, right? You can turn it off in context where if my Arlecchino was using an attack percent timepiece, because this gives 45% attack and attack percent timepiece is 46% attack, I could just remove an attack percent timepiece from Arlecchino, for example, and put it onto an HP timepiece, and bam, that's turning off C2. Except for in that team context, I was using an EM timepiece on Arlecchino. There was not 46% of attack on my Arlecchino build that I could remove. I guess I could have theoretically turned off C2 Shallonen. What is actually, I don't know. I didn't even think about this. I could have turned off C2 Arlecchino, or sorry, C2 Shallonen for Arlecchino by putting Bennett on a worse weapon. Why in the world are you using this right now? Oh, I remember. Yeah, I was configuring Shao build for whatever recently. 950 base attack. So that converts to, we can do the math on this. 950 times 0.45 is 427.5 attack. So I was correct. That is about a third of Bennett buff. So I'd have to put him on... Ooh. What's the base attack? His base attack is, like, very low, right? Would putting him on Fab be enough? Putting him on Fab might have been enough. Alright, base attack is 646. Times, what is this at? I think I remember this. Additional 20%, yeah, okay. Times 1.39. That's 897. That's not quite. Like, Fav is still too high a base attack. But it's still, I could have done something like that, though. That still would have, like, nearly turned off C2 Shallonen. Maybe that would have been better than removing her signature weapon or whatever. But I think it's close enough of a situation. It's close enough. I just, you know... And I could have used Petra on her and whatever, and like, but Instructors was also still doing something because I wasn't doing Instructors on Chung Yun. He's on Instructors right now, but I didn't have him on Instructors for it. So, anyways, like, in various ways, I think my comparison was more favorable to Shallonen, if anything, which is kind of funny. So, yeah, I think it's fine, because the end result was that I showed circumstances where Chung Yun could perform similar or beat Shallonen. Even the Shallonen with constellations and whatever. And, yeah. So, White Tassel Arlecchino. Yeah, that could have been an option, too. Yeah, that's true. Just reducing her base attack. Do I have a leveled White Tassel? I don't think I do. Shoot. I should do that. I thought I did for some... No, I did that on Polearms only. Yeah. I forget. Yep, I have one. Just not leveled. Wonder how many of these I have. I'm not going to level that right now, but... I'm curious how many of those I have, if I could do it, if I wanted to. Nope. I definitely cannot fully level that right now. Alright, that's fine. Alright. When Eon Son drops, we should all C6 Bennett? Yeah. Man, I don't like making, like, outright statements of, like, you should do things. Because Genshin is a game of, like, very much finding what your personal enjoyment of things is. But I must admit that I am tempted to make a video saying you have no excuse to activate C6 Bennett now. But there's still the asterisk of, like, Eon Son is not universally useful in the same way that Bennett is. So, like, there is still, like, minor risk, right? But, man, I like, there's already so many... I just don't feel like making this video. I don't think I'm going to make the video. I mean, yeah, you have an excuse if you don't have C6. This is true, but I guess in the context of the meta conversation, C6 Bennett, ignoring the fun utility of it, is meta because of the things it enables in, like, flexibility to have an extra instance of pyro application from, let's say you're doing Rosaria with Arlecchino. You're doing Rosaria, Bennett, Sitlali, Arlecchino. Rosaria on instructors, I have found has slight issue with consistently trying to trigger the instructor's buff. And one way you can make sure you get trigger the instructor's buff consistently on her is by doing a normal attack with C6 Bennett Pyro Infusion. But also in that vein, it's just really useful in general to have that additional pyro application from a Pyro Infusion, because, you know, there's, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a shield enemy in Abyss in the first chamber right now, in chamber 12. And you can conquer evil. And sorry, I just made a Chung Yun video. It's a little bit rude, I guess, to shut him up, but I'm sorry.
Let's hit the town.
Anyway, so C6 Bennett, right? The pyro application, right? You could use C6 Bennett with his pyro application and melee units to easily shred through shields in an Abyss in many situations. I've done it many times before. One of the funnest examples was I think the 5.3 Abyss, right, with the cryo boss. I forgot what its name is. This one, right? That spawns a bunch of like different like duplicates of itself that are all cryo shields. C6 Bennett on its own can like trivialize this. You just plop Bennett down, you spam his skill on them, you do normal charge attack combo, and you can wreck this thing's shields with just Bennett alone. It's a lot harder to do that without C6 Bennett, because you get additional pyro application out of C6 Bennett. So, anyways, and then there's the 50% pyro bonus, because, in case you didn't notice, pyro DPSs are pretty strong in this game. It might be news to some people. I don't know. Maybe. But some pyro DPSs are pretty strong in this game, and it's making the strong units even stronger. Like, you know, not to mention how compelling of a pyro DPS Bennett himself becomes. So, yeah, I don't know, right? Like, there's the most normal, simple meta arguments for C6 Bennett. And then there's fun, more niche utility, too. And the only things it breaks is, like, the two instances of things, even as someone who likes doing shenanigans, of things that it broke. And one of these is more a category of things, but one of them is, I don't have this, but this is one that some people care about, is C6 Chiori, because of Chiori has a Geo Infusion, not a Geo Conversion. Most characters, when they convert their normal attacks to an elemental type, they have conversions. She has an infusion, which means it gets overridden by Bennett, is the simple answer. And then you can go watch Tars Blammo's video on infusions, though, if you want to see more on that. And then there is the circumstance where I was slightly saddened. This is the only circumstance that like I really meaningfully cared about, realistically, was when I got C6 Lynette. C6 Lynette is an Animo Infusion, not an Animo Conversion, and therefore this can get overridden by C6 Bennett. So if you want to do Animo DPS with Lynette C6, it's a little bit harder. To be clear, I could make the argument that Pyro DPS Lynette is a lot stronger. In fact, I don't think it's that hard to make. But I also 100% understand why it's unsatisfying to get C6 Lynette and then not be able to do much with it. This is not a very good constellation. So, like, the problem is mostly, like, I don't know. She has, like, quick swappy DPS potential, which is kind of interesting. But, her skill cooldown being 12 seconds and only giving you 6 seconds of infusion doesn't really make it like her proper main DPS type of playstyle, such that like that alone kind of makes you want to do C6 Bennett infusion things potentially. So anyways, but you know, as far as ways to get so the C6 Bennett, like if you wanted to do Animo DPSing with C6 Lynette, C6 Bennett doing the Pyro Infusion does kind of prevent you from doing that, and it's sad because you know she's an attack scaling unit and you're losing, you know, the big attack buffer. But we are getting Eons on now, right? And that's my overall feeling. And like, if you are really scared of those hyper niche scenarios where C6 Bennett Infusion does screw something up, which is very, very rare in my opinion, it helps far more often than it hurts. And it's only in really specific scenarios that it messes up with things. And she has 2 charges. Yeah, 2 charges that are each 12-second cooldowns. The amount of times I have to... I'm sorry. The amount of times I have to explain this is just crazy to me. I blame Mahoy over this, not you, to be clear. 2 charges does not mean you have 12 seconds of uptime on her infusion. It means you have 12 seconds of uptime with 12 seconds of downtime. Right? It's like more flexibility is good. The 2 skill uses is nice. But what most people would find they are doing is they're just doing really long rotations with significant downtime with Lynette. So, anyways, yeah, messing up Chiori C6 is kind of funny. It's kind of surprising that they didn't just make Chiori C6 specifically say conversion rather than infusion. But either way, same thing. Like Eon-san releasing means that these characters will have an attack buffer option. That, you know, if you really cared about those hyper niche scenarios where C6 Bennett screwed with things, well, now we have a new Bennett who might not be the perfect replacement because Eon-san's buff uptime is weird. We don't need to get into describing Eon-san right now. If you're not familiar, go watch the Jeff's 2-hour video if you want to understand. But anyways, the other circumstance that I've experienced, and this is the general archetype I was talking about, where C6 Bennett interferes, is physical DPSing. And I'm using Moika as an example because this is why I didn't do physical DPS Moika in my no bike Moika video. But I'll probably do a separate physical Moika video with Eon-san's release. If you want to do physical DPSing with melee units and they're attack scaling, which is basically always the case for, you know, normal attack physical DPS, a pyro infusion on your melee attacks removes the ability to do physical damage from your melee attacks. Wow. Right? So you kind of lose... The thing is, though, physical is bad. It just outright, physical's pretty bad, okay? Is the way it is. Mihoyo really does not want physical to be good. It's fine. But that's also what kind of makes physical potentially fun to do. Bro, your Moika is not built good? What are you talking about? This is the ideal way to build Moika. Alt is the priority? No. The alt stays level 1. I don't know what you're talking about. This character doesn't have a burst. What are you talking about? There's literally no reason for me to ever burst in this character. Do I have to explain it? Do I have to explain it? Do I have to explain the joke? Anyways, I haven't pressed Moika's alt in like a month, or unless no, that might be wrong. I might have done it by accident for sure, but I haven't on purpose pressed Moika's alt in a month. So, anyways, no, I'm protesting the balance of this character. To be clear, I'm saying this from a place of. This is why I'm probably not going to make a video about this. I have C1. This makes her skill last longer, which also screws up some things, by the way. It's actually going to screw up my ability to do physical Moika a little bit. But this also gives her attack. Like this buffs her damage enough that, like, for how I use Moika, which is always for supportive utility, I just don't want to press her burst. I don't like it. I think it makes teams feel weird. I dislike it. So, bro, stop yapping. You came to my live stream. I understand if you've never seen my live stream before. But, like, that's what my live streams are for. It's for me to just yap. I'm sorry. And, like, my plan for this live stream is do events. Do the event that I haven't done. Like, I don't understand when people, like, come to my live streams and, like, stop yapping. What do you... Okay. I'll go back to ice bridging. I'll put music on and go back to ice bridging. Where I still yap, because I'm bad at not yapping, but it's fine. Anyways, is Eon-san gonna buff Electric Charge Candace? Electric Charge Candace specifically? I don't know, but I think Eon-san with Candace might be kind of interesting. I don't know. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, so like C6 Bennett F's with physical Malika, right? So, yeah. And the physical archetype in general. If I want to do physical of, you know, the Koki for for don't do physical Kuki, okay? But hey, her like ninja animations, I can get. There's some people that might want to do that, okay? But yeah. So physical DPS is probably the main archetype that C6 Bennett kind of screwed with. But no one actually does physical DPS that often that it's not really a reason not to activate C6 Bennett unless you know yourself already that you want to do physical DPS memes on many different characters. And even if you do want to do that, there's arguments to be made that, you know, Eon-san being an Electro attack buffer, Electro is half of the requirement for Superconduct for physical Red Shred. Arguably, you should do Eon-san instead, even with some of the potential minor downsides of Eon-san. So, anyways, did I condense my resin? I did not. I almost have max resin. Wow. Point being, I think there's not much reason not to activate C6 Bennett after Eon-san's release. Like, because in the worst case scenario, you have another alternative attack buffer available in the game that is minorly worse than Bennett. So, and the problems with physical are going to be more than the problems with like slight anti-synergy with Eon-san and certain units that like don't move enough or whatever. So anyways, hello Mohammed. Last day to do what? Events. Mostly. Should I? Oh, frick me. I needed to only convert 3 ley lines. Dang it, brain. Polearm is only Abyss stream. When did I do? Didn't I just do that this week? I don't want to use a fragile because whatever. I don't think when is this? 6 minutes? Oh, of course 6 minutes. It's a long time to wait. Okay, fine. I hate that I did that, but whatever. It's resin is resin. Resin is resin. I don't think I need to save that. I usually just like to keep a surplus of about 10 fragiles because 10 fragiles is enough to do like the new materials for boss farming, overworld boss farming for a new character that releases with a new boss in the same patch, like Veressa, for example. But I don't really need to have more than 10, generally speaking. The other reason to save it is like for a domain or new artifact domain, but I don't personally care about that. So it's fine. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Go here. Anyways. I predict that Veressa has Moika's energy. Yep. You are correct. I mean, to be clear, if Chevers didn't exist, she probably wouldn't have Moika's energy. But Chevers does exist, so, yeah. Yes, this is my main account. What is with this lagging that's happening recently? I don't understand. I'm going into areas again. It's like the, whatever. It's like the same issue that happens when new patch updates happen. I expect it with new patches, but I don't know why it's happening now. Anyways. You gonna pull Veressa? I know there's viewers here, I think, because of the Chung Yun video that aren't regular viewers of my live stream, which, welcome, thank you. You probably didn't see my poll. The situation on my main account right now is that I have an opportunity. Normally, I would say, yes, I'm pulling Veressa. Normally, I would 100% default, even if I don't care about the new character. If I want the 4-star on the banner and her constellations, Eon-san's constellations, I may as well pull the new character, right? But my main account right now, this account, is in a really weird situation wherein I've lost 3 50/50s in a row, and I have a guarantee right now at Pity. I am at Pity with a guarantee, and then I lost 3 50/50s in a row, so I know that I am guaranteed my next 2 limited 5-stars. And this is an opportunity for me to make a video that is formatted in a way that normally I wouldn't have an opportunity to do this because, like, it's too unrealistic of a circumstance most of the time to ever be a possible format. Like, I think it's disingenuous to format a video this way normally. because normally this just would never happen, right? But I want to do... I pretty much decided that I'm going to do, will I get C6 Cloud Retainer before getting C6 Eons on? And the reason for that is because I already have, please, C1 Cloud Retainer, which I got. The reason I have C1 Cloud Retainer is I got C1 in going for C6 Farazan when Cloud Retainer first ran. So because I have the 2 guarantees, right, and I want to get C6 Eons on, or I want to, like, the thing is, I don't need to get C6 Eons on, but I kind of just want to get it because of my place as a content creator. I can use her C6 to do some additional content. At minimum, I can make a video or a stream, which is a video, which is a longer format video live, where I'm testing and like individually like showing, okay, here's the difference this constellation makes in different teams. And like I can show how like C6 in some teams doesn't make a difference at all, and in some teams it does. Right? I think for a character as relevant as Eon Son, it would be really nice to have that and show that to people. And also just, it's kind of nice to get that out of the way. The other reason is like, I at least want at minimum C2 Eon. If I wasn't going for C6 Eon Son, I would want C2 Eon Son. And in getting C2 Eon Son, unless I get very lucky on the banner, I'm going to get 2 limited 5 stars anyways. Right? So I could choose to get, 1 copy of Veresa, 1 copy of Chung Yun, whatever, right? That would be the sensible thing to do. And the reason I'm saying I would end up getting 2 limited 5 stars because again, I have a guarantee. I'm at pity, and I have the next one is guaranteed as well. So and an average of like 30-ish wishes to get a 4-star, a specific 4-star means that I should expect it takes about 90 wishes, aka I'm going to see 2 5-stars. 2 guaranteed 5 stars. So anyways, is Veresa good without Chung Yun? Her best non-Shivers teams are with Chung Yun, but Chung Yun is definitely not needed for her. Veresa is going to perform perfectly fine if you don't have Chung Yun, in my opinion, or you don't have Shivers teams to play with her for whatever reason. If you don't have a copy of Shivers at all. This is still not done. 1 minute. Okay. So, no, Veresa is definitely not a must-have. I think if you want, if you're on the fence of which 5-star you want to try to get it, like, let's assume you're going for just C0 Eons on, and if you don't have Cloud Retainer, I would wish for Cloud Retainer. Assuming if you have Farina and you don't have Cloud Retainer, I would go for Cloud, and you don't really care about Veresa in any particular reason. If you do, if you could utilize having a Electro main DPS, then go for Veresa if you don't think you dislike her potentially. But I think many people may end up appreciating having Cloud Retainer at minimum for just like fun overworld utility. But yeah. The banner 4-stars, yeah, they have not announced it, which I mentioned earlier. I want to make a video. I was waiting until they announced the 4-stars. I was really hoping they were going to announce them last night or Friday night, but they did not. Supposedly, rumor mill is that it might be Gaming Farazan with Eons on, of course. So it might be Gaming Farazan Eons on, which is an incredible 4-star banner. We'll see though. That very much could be wrong. Was I? Maybe? Oh yeah, I was just waiting the minute for for getting 5 resin. Yeah, okay. So, anyways, what did I leave off talking about? Oh yeah, my video. Why I'm probably not going for Veresa. This is such a long. I'm sorry, such a long yap. I'm only explaining again just because I figure there's new viewers here that aren't aware of it. Veresa, like the concept of the video of the chance, like you might be like, okay, so C3 Cloud Retainer is basically guaranteed, right? C3 Cloud Retainer is basically guaranteed. The average it would take to get C7 copies of Eons on, C6 Eons on, right, is about 200 and a little bit over 200 wishes, right? So in that amount of wishes, I can expect I should see about 4 or 5 stars. I might get slightly unlucky, to be clear, and not see 4 or 5 stars. But that's just like assuming I get like 5 stars at pity, right? It's not factoring in early 5 stars. So my point was, with these 2 guarantees, and then the fact that I'm going to see at least 2 more 5 stars, and then potential for earlies, you can see the potential reality where I get C6 Cloud Retainer before C6 Eons on in 200 and like, we'll say 225 wishes, right? So I'm at pity already. I get guaranteed. 70 wishes, 75 wishes, get guaranteed. 150 more wishes. Let's say 50-50 win, 50-50 win, right? So that's a 1 in 4 chance, right? And that's at C5. And then somewhere in there, I have to get like an early at the right time kind of thing with another 50-50 win. So that's like a 1 in... So we're talking like 1 in 8, 1 in like... This is probably like a 1 in like 20 chance this happens realistically. Like it's like I don't think it's super likely. I definitely don't think it's super likely for me to get a C6 Cloud Retainer before C6 Eon Song. But it's like just the perfect balance of likely enough in my situation on my main account that this is a perfect opportunity to show how absurd the RNG inconsistency of 4 stars is. Because like again, like if a situation like happened with like I did 200 pulls on Lanyan for Lanyan. I did 200 pulls for Lanyan and got 2 copies of Lanyan. On average, I should have gotten 6. That's very unlucky. It's very unlucky to get 2 copies of a specific 4-star in 200 pulls. But if that happens with Eon's on, suddenly the chance I get C6 Cloud Retainer shoots up through the roof, right? So my like hope, my end hope for this is to both to be like, yeah, you probably shouldn't. Here's my example, my main account of like how because of capturing Radiance existing and whatever, it makes it even harder to risk going for 4 stars than it was in the past. Like wishing for 4 stars is actively worse now because of capturing Radiance. Because capturing Radiance makes it much easier to plan around getting specific 5 stars when you know you've had a 50-50 loss streak, such as me right now, where I know the next 2 5 stars are guaranteed, such that it makes it feel a lot worse to wish specifically for a 4-star, right? So that's one thing I want to talk about. And then I figure I can use this as a rare opportunity. If this does happen, where I just get the right conjunction of slightly lucky with the amount of Cloud Retainers I get and slightly unlucky with the amount of Eonsons I get, results in C6 Cloud Retainer before C6 Eonson, I have a paranoid hope in my brain that the video might get enough attention for that end result happening that it triggers the same thing that happened with the Homa incident that changed the weapon banner, which, by the way, that didn't even change the weapon banner to make it that much better, right? But the reason, like, originally the weapon banner never had these fate point systems at all. Originally, it was just pure RNG, right? But then someone spent, like, some stupid number of wishes, like hundreds and hundreds of wishes, and never got a single copy of Homa or something, when it never had the fate point system. I think it was, what's his bucket? I forgot his name. Yeah, Tectone $2,000, which, you know, whatever. We're not going to talk about Tectone. I'm not going to distract. Not going to yap about Tectone. But like, that's absurd, right? Spending $2,000 and not getting a copy of Homa is absurd. And that triggered Mihoyo to be like, oh crap, we should change the system. Because it's really bad PR for us that can happen. And I want them to do the same for 4 stars. I think the only reason they haven't done such a system for 4 stars is because not that many people actually care about 4 stars. Because the average casual player just cares about 5 stars and only 5 stars, right? So, anyways, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But my point is like I'm probably skipping Veresa because it's too much of a good opportunity. Normally, yes, I absolutely agree. I should get a copy of Veresa like with my guarantee at minimum and then do Cloud Retainer. The problem is if I use one of my guarantees for Veresa, for example, if I use my guarantee where I'm at pity right now and start from a clean slate, still having the Radiance guarantee, that like, it might not seem like that's that significant, but that substantially changes the odds. Like it goes from like that 1 in 20 to maybe like a 1 in 50 chance is my guess. Or maybe less even than that of actually getting C6 Cloud Retainer. Like getting 5 Cloud Retainers in 200 pulls with only having 1 guarantee is a lot different than getting 5 Cloud Retainers in 200 pulls with 2 guarantees, right? Is my point. Like the math is significantly different. For the video concept, I think it's objectively better to go with the reality that is more likely that C6 Cloud Retainer happens before C6 Eons on. And also, there's the factor in this that if I somehow do get this, I'll have fun with it. I do think I will enjoy having this constellation, for what it's worth. So, there's that too. But yeah, anyways. Yes, every time you lose a 50-50, you have an increased chance to trigger capturing Radiance. If you lose 3 50-50s in a row, you're guaranteed capturing Radiance. Yes, so it says that, yeah, for anyone that was unfamiliar with that, it does say that in-game. It didn't originally say that in-game, which is annoying, but it does now. They did this. They added this like a patch or two ago. Where does it say it? Yeah, there we go. The base probability of triggering capturing Radiance is 0.018%. This is comically low because capturing Radiance only has a chance to trigger on 5 stars effect in general. So technically capturing Radiance has a possibility of triggering on any 50-50 roll you have. So basically capturing Radiance checks this 0.018% chance when you lose a 50-50. And if it fails this 0.018% chance, then it's just a 50-50 loss, right? So this is basically so comically low that almost nobody will see a capturing Radiance trigger from this roll. But then, when winning 5-star character, the consolidated probability 55%. But then it says, if the promotional 5-star character is the second 5-star character you obtain on 3 consecutive occasions, what that phrasing means is when you lose 3 50-50s in a row. If you lose 3 50-50s in a row since version 5.0, when this feature is implemented, the capturing Radiance mechanic is guaranteed to be triggered the next time you obtain a 5-star. So that's my circumstance where I'm in right now. I have lost 3 50-50s. And technically they're not 50-50s. That's why they use this verbiage. It's not actually 50-50. They have to be specific in their verbiage, because if they're not specific in their verbiage, they're lying. That's why it's phrased this way. But the lingo speak for us as Genshin players is losing 3 50-50s in a row. Guarantees it. There is one additional bit of information that we do know. We quote unquote know because of data from like just people submitting their wishing data. That capturing Radiance, once you lost 2 50-50s in a row, capturing Radiance has a 50% chance of triggering on your third one. So if you lost 2 50-50s in a row, your third one is not guaranteed, but it will have a substantially higher chance of triggering, like a 50% roll. Whereas if you lost 3 50-50s, so basically you're on a normal 50-50. If you won a 50-50 recently, right? Your next 5-star is a normal 50-50. But if you lose that 50-50, all right, you get your next one is guaranteed, and then you're now not on a guarantee again. You have a 50-50 again, just basically normal 50-50. Then you get your next guaranteed 5-star. All right, cool. And now you're on the third one in a row, potentially. This one, if you lose the 50-50, the game does a 50% chance check to trigger the capturing Radiance mechanic. So together, that is a 75% chance to get the featured 5-star on your third consecutive, if you have a 2 50-50 loss streak, specifically. And then if you still lose that 25-75, which is what happened to me, which I was happy about, because instead of getting a C1 Chlorind, I got an extra copy of Dehya, it made my day. I was so happy about that. And then you're guaranteed, which is what happened to me, right? Recently, my brother had a circumstance. I wished on my brother's account on a live stream for Risley. He had 2 50-50 losses in a row. He was guaranteed his C0 Risley, and then we continued wishing. We got another 5-star, and it triggered the capturing Radiance mechanic because it technically lost the 50-50, but then it did the 50% chance on top of that for the 75-25, and he got a C1 Risley, right? So, yeah. 50-50 in a 50-50, Gam before the win. I mean, yeah, pretty much. But it's a 50-50 after it has already failed the check, so hence why it's a 75% chance to get the 5-star. Yeah, I think it's a really smartly implemented system, quite frankly. I really like the capturing Radiance mechanic as far as a system of like fundamentally, like all this does over time is it results in your 50-50 being a 55-45, right? That's what this consolidated probability is. Like extrapolated over hundreds of wishes, the way the system works results in this number, right? But in practice, if you're tracking your things, the fact that you can, track your 50-50 losses, you can use that to make better decisions, right? In how you're wishing for things. And that ends up making it much more powerful than just, ooh, it's a 5% higher chance of getting a 5-star, right? In my opinion. So I don't even think it's really I'm saying my opinion there because I don't feel like it's necessary to go into the breakdown of how being able to make decisions in controlling RNG systems is powerful, I guess. Can you start ice bridging right now? Probably not. I do want to do other things. I would love to do ice bridging right now, but we gotta do some other things. Anyways, yeah, I do really wish they had it in Zenless. Man, I've lost a what am I at? I think I have gotten 12 5-stars in Zenless. Have I gotten that many? I have to double check. But I've lost, I think, 75% of my 50/50s. So capturing Radiance probably would have triggered for me if it was in Zenless, but it is not. Sad. Anyways, last, you know, we're doing. We gotta engage streamer look. I'm still hoping. I'm farming tenacity, mostly pale flame because physical memes. But tenacity because mostly I want pieces for Farina. I think I want to move Farina to a permanent tenacity build. Doesn't HSR already have a weird 50/50 thing? Yeah, so HSR functionally has a... I don't think they have a capturing radiance system. Maybe they do, but they just don't have any special indicator for it. It's possible. But people did notice that Star Rail, when... Like, if you go wish at Star Rail wishing statistics, you know, people were ending up getting, like, 5-stars more often than they... Like, the featured 5-star more often than they should have been. But I don't think it was implemented like capturing Radiance. I believe the theory was that... and Mohoyo's never said why this is, but this is the theory that fits the data. Sure. Is that in Star Rail, when you lose a 50/50, the limited banner character is in the 50/50 loss pool. That's doing that made the data match up. So Star Rail does not have the 50/50 loss streak thing, but they do have a slightly higher chance of winning your 50/50 technically. Unless they change that. But last time I looked, it was still in the game. Nope, we already did. Do I still do the 1-2 artists? I've been trying to do that every other day at least. Speaking of, I think I haven't done it in a couple days. I've been trying to do it more lately, but I still have not planned out like a proper way of doing a full route. No, I don't think an HP circle is relevant. Like, I could engage 4-line principle. That could be like a 40 crit damage piece or whatever, but I just don't think I changed my mind. The reason I changed my mind is because it could actually be relevant as an off piece for Siege Ween, funnily enough. Where'd it go? There it is. This needs to be crit or ER in the first line, or it's trash can. Now it needs to be crit damage. Okay. I mean... Okay, bye. There we go. Cloud Retainer, VV, or Song of Days Past? Generally speaking, VV. That's what she's usually on my account. Honestly, even if you like fail to get, let's say, a Pyro Swirl, if you're doing Pyro Plunging, right? You end up getting a Hydro Swirl instead, and that buffs your Farina damage, and it's usually fine, right? Is my overall experience with Cloud Retainer artifacts. If you want to not think about VV setups at all, though, there's reasons to potentially do Song of Days Past, though. Or if you have someone else on VV for some reason. Yeah, I definitely think the Star Rail system, assuming it was intentional, which it probably was, I definitely think the Star Rail system is worse than capturing Radiance. By far. but at the very least, Star Rail's better than Zenless. Zenless has proper normal 50-50 rates. The data exactly matches what you would expect. It's a 50-50. You know, this might get the award for one of the most useless sets to have EM main stat on. How much behind the song set? I think it's going to depend on your investment and what units you're playing with. Like, if you're playing Cloud Retainer with Shao, for example, VV doesn't benefit Shao at all, but it benefits your team damage by like buffing Farina's damage. And it's possible that the Song of Days Past buff, relative to how invested your Shao is, you know, might be very similar, right? Wow, this is a absolute poopy day. So, you know, there's no, I don't think there's a universal answer, but like I think a lot of players that are playing Shao Cloud Retainer would probably tend towards maybe Song of Days Past on Cloud Retainer instead of 4-piece VV. But I didn't, because I play Cloud Retainer in a bunch of other circumstances, so yeah. Doing this again because like the chance to get me some tenacity pieces here might save me elixirs. I haven't decided what. I'm probably gonna get rid of this, and I kind of want to keep this for like Bloodstained memes, but I don't think it rolled well enough. If I'm ever truly gonna dedicate myself to Bloodstained, I feel like I want to slightly. I mean, it's weird. This has like 3 good rolls, but it's only 1 crit roll, so I don't know. Anyways, they're adding more to Strongbox. We don't know. So there was a supposed information that they were adding the rest of the Fontaine artifact sets to Strongbox next patch, but it seems like they are not because they didn't announce it, which is really unfortunate. So they're probably not adding that until 6.0, which is real lame. Wait, I just got a tenacity piece. Well, I mean, maybe usable still, honestly. Maybe very usable, but anyways. Alright, we need to do event things. I might play a song for you guys quick though, because I suddenly have to go to the bathroom. Which is rare. Usually my body is just fine, suppressing its needs. So, we gonna... Oh, you know what? Here, I'm gonna play this because I was actually listening to this. I was listening to the Rappa song. I must admit, if I had heard the Rappa song while Rappa was being released, it might have gotten me to play Star Rail again. But anyways, copyrights. I mean, the Rappa song should not get a copyright strike. Hopefully it's not too loud. It'll be fine. Maybe. Just listen to a bop.
You
The best rattan furniture is made from strands that are smooth, thin, and strong like silk. Furniture like that can be just as precious as a silver family heirloom. That's no exaggeration.
Ow, I just frick. That's not Rappa's song. Oh, it's Inazuma. Nice. Pause. I fricked. Yes. I was stupid and I went to close the door when my finger was still... I was holding the door frame. Or my hand was like on the door frame as I was coming into the room. And I pushed the door shut onto my finger. Not like hard. It wasn't bad. It was just like, ah. It was, frick. I'm stupid. I'm not the person to ask if E2 Fugue is worth it. Anyways. Plan. What is the plan? Alright, we need to... I need to do that. Okay, we're gonna... let's go to we're gonna go spend our resin on poems only first. And then we are going to do the event on all the accounts. And supposedly it doesn't take that long, but I also haven't done it yet. So we're gonna have to figure it out. So, give me a second. Hey, I lost 70 viewers. Wow. 70 people have not that much of an attention span. I must concede, this is why I have to continue yapping forever, right? Is because if I don't continue yapping forever, the moment I stop yapping, they disappear. Dang Rappa haters, yeah. I don't know anything about that character, by the way. I have no idea. She just has a nice song. I enjoy the song. Loading. Blap. Oh gosh, it's a welcome. Alright, 190 resin. Ooh, and our crystal fly thing is done, that's good. Blap. I can't believe this is the last like 2 days I'm spending in... Where is this? It's in Mondstadt. This is the last 2 days I'm spending resin in the Arlecchino domain. So the last real, and I'm kind of committed to the idea, by the way, of I don't remember who it was that suggested this. Someone in my chat a few days ago suggested with the new artifact set trying to compete with Ziox for #1 Chow. So I think I might save my elixirs for Shao pieces. You suggested this, Delvion? Oh yeah. Let's go. There we go. It would be really funny if we managed to like be a thorn in Ziox's side, just on the nature of like this being a polearm only account that doesn't really have to farm much else. Also, it seems like the Cryo Chevreuse. Well, we don't know actually. I have no idea. If the Cryo Chevreuse is real, there's a possibility she has the ability to use the new Cryo artifact set anyway, so it might be a win-win for me. But probably the Cryo set is basically useless. So, anyways, I think it would be really funny to compete with Ziox from the clean slate of the new artifacts, right? And I kind of wanted to get the new artifacts for Xiao anyways, because again, one, I don't really have to farm for that much in general on this account anymore, artifacts-wise, other than new characters, relevant artifacts, which is very rare. And in this case, Xiao can utilize them, right? And Xiao is actually going to become a meaningfully usable character on this account once Eon's on releases. By the way, I farmed a little bit of VV with Strongbox the other day, either a day or two ago off camera. I didn't feel like doing this on camera. I could have, I guess, done it today, but it struck me in the moment, and I reconfigured his build a little bit. So this is a 4-piece VV build that I have going, and the reason that's important is because I think it's very possible that 4-piece VV still ends up being better on this account than 4-piece of the new set. Because of the fact that the main way to configure Xiao teams to do meaningful damage in this account is, generally speaking, probably by like including Xiangling, for example, so that there's some kind of form of off-field damage going on. And then Xiao on VV can buff Xiangling's damage. And that will probably buff team damage more than putting a better artifact set on him. But we'll see. That's a good enough VV set, I think, on him to make that comparison. And that'll be the goal. Anyways, we need to... We're going to go spend the last bit of resin here. Best Xiao team is VV Nubulet. Oh no. Take advantage of his content glitch. I mean, I'm not really gonna... unless I start to get to the point of being close to number 1 Xiao, I'm probably... Well, I don't know. Maybe I will make a video about it. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe I will make a video about it just to like revive some interest in polearms only. Maybe be like, I can just make a video like I'm gonna try to get number 1 Xiao before Ziox. Also, this is isn't this all in the assumption that Akasha is gonna be revived? Because isn't Akasha just kind of dead right now? Someone told me before that Akasha's kind of dead because of something happening with the Akasha server owner. So maybe Akasha just doesn't even update to properly use the new set for Xiao calculation. Oops.
Everlasting as the moon. There is no escape.
Won't even matter because Akasha only compares CV on team with Chung Yun for Rina Faros on C6 Xiao. Well, yeah, no, I'm not saying it's the best build for Xiao on this account. I'd be competing for number 1 Xiao on the assumption that it would be on a normal account, which is why it's funny. I think it's funny to compete with a Xiao that cannot possibly use Xiao's like best teams. So, anyways, I think that's irrelevant. Expect a clip of this stream being on the OK Ziox subreddit. Oh boy. Feel free. Feel free, I suppose. But I was gonna farm the set anyways. And I wasn't gonna farm the set to the degree of like, yeah, I'm gonna use my elixirs for Xiao. But honestly, like, what else do I have to use my elixirs on? I may as well just try to get a really good Xiao build. And then it would be really funny if it's still just not that good. So, I don't know. There's just like not that much downside to spending the next, I don't know, year of resin for Xiao. So why not? What's Tomofor in your team? He presses E. Well. But he does give 15% damage bonus in this team, if you want more specifics than that. To be clear, I think he only gives 50% damage bonus. The pressing E was a joke. He gets 15% damage bonus, yeah, when the Blazing Barrier is obtained or refreshed, which, does that actually count as... Oh no, his skill does give that. Oh, okay, never mind. So, yeah. Someone's Blazing Barrier. Okay, yeah. I thought his skill shield counted as a different shield. I thought Blazing Barrier was only his, like, refreshing shield. But no, yeah, so... He presses E and burst, and he gives damage bonus, and he's a fab holder. Ooh. Yes, Xiangling is more damage, duh. But for overworld farming comfort, that's very unnecessary, and it takes longer to like cast Xiangling than it's worth for anything in overworld, and even outside of overworld, it doesn't really matter that much, except for in the most min-maxy of min-maxy scenarios. Wow, all right. Is he better than Bennett? Toma? No. No. Pole arms only. No. I will probably use Eon Son instead of Toma in this team for overworld farming. Probably. The reason I say probably is I'm not 100% certain I will. Because I don't know, it doesn't matter. But anyways, I don't think it'll matter really. Like it might make me clear this domain 2 seconds faster, but also once Eon's on releases, I'm not going to be farming this domain, so I don't know. Anyways, will you do Fremine thing someday? I was considering recording that last night, but I didn't have the energy to do it because I didn't. I figured I contacted my mod Sylvia, and she has a fully invested Fremine. I was going to record on her account potentially to do a Fremine video, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, and I figured it would have been better to be higher energy when I did it, so yes, eventually. He's not even on banner right now, so like, I don't think I had to do it right now or anything, but yes, I will do a Fremine video eventually. I don't know what I want to focus on though. At minimum, I want to at least show some stuff with Plunge, because I do think Plunge is one of his more interesting things. I'm sorry. As interesting as his skill mechanic is, he's kind of more interesting in his ability to have a really, really big plunging multiplier. Sorry. So, yeah. Anyways. Eon Sun will make you go zoom. Indeed, she will. So yeah, for overworld, for overworld traversal, Eon Sun definitely yes. I was specifically talking before in the context more of overworld or domain farming. I don't necessarily think the extra damage from Eon Sun will be necessary for domain farming, basically. But yeah. Why are you in Dragonspine? Dailies. This account does not do enough quests. Could I do more exploration and quests on this account? Yes. But I don't want to. Because I don't need to. My time investment on this account is relatively low. You guys see most of my play on this account on live streams nowadays. So yeah, we're doing dailies because I need to do dailies because I don't have any of the stupid long-term points, which is fine. You don't understand how Fremine works? Fremine is basically, he has a skill where I believe you click, I think it's just doing normal attacks. His normal attacks are slow, which is definitely a problem in this kit. It's a Claymore problem, to be clear, but he would feel so much more fun to play, I think, if he had like Mawika speed normal attacks. But anyways, you basically press his skill, it gives a little meter, and if you can press his skill, and then you can press his skill immediately again. And does it start at? I think it starts at full cryo, right? So it starts with full cryo damage. So you could do press the skill again, do a cryo hit. Or you can do normal attacks. I might have this reversed. But you can do normal attacks, and then his little meter will like tick up, and when it's at max, it'll do completely physical damage. Hopefully I didn't get that order wrong. It might be reversed. It might be physical to start and cryo at the end. You cheat the slow attacks with spines, or with Skyward Spine. Or not Skyward Spine. Broken Pines. Yulo's Weapon. Whatever it's called. Yeah. And yeah, Burst gives an extra tick to the meter. He's mostly intended as a physical DPS, which... Yeah. So he has a really cool kit idea, but yeah, his burst basically gives you the ability to do more skills. It reduces the skill cooldown, so you can do a bunch of those skills multiple times in a rotation. So it's basically just doing like skill, normal attack, skill, skill, normal attack, skill, right? Kind of thing, that kind of gameplay. With okay multipliers. If the physical was so bad until Full Solar was released, and I played him with Melt with C2 Shenhe. Nice. So, yeah. He is definitely a unit in the category of, like, really interesting kit idea, hampered by Mihoyo gave him low multipliers. But him having his normal attack constellation, or not constellation, normal attack talent constellation, specifically, which I think is C5. No, it's C3. C3. So it raises his normal attack talents, which is cool. And then I believe he gets crit damage just by triggering Frozen, Shatter, or Superconduct. So, you know, you want to have at least Farina in the team, generally speaking, if you're doing anything with him, I would say. He basically can get a crit buff, right? And that crit buff, in conjunction with plunge multiplier and level 13 talent on plunges, is, I think, I forgot what it is exactly. I think it's like 500%-ish. And that makes, I think, physical playstyle, or not physical, plunge playstyle, which is physical, or what is definitely better is doing things with Bennett, but, you know, it makes plunge playstyle on him theoretically better than, like, the Luke. Sorry. On paper, they're, like, relatively similar, I believe, but they are not too different from each other. For pyro plunging specifically with C6 Bennett. Obviously with physical plunging, that's a little bit of a different story, and Fremine should just be better at physical plunging. So yeah. Anywho's, what was I doing? Oh, I was gonna put this down. Blap. New plunge set is not Gaming's best in slot now. So the new plunge artifacts. I'm gonna take a drink of water. The new plunge artifacts are like, I really wish that, like, I at first was much more positive on them because I was like, oh sweet, like, hey, this is the plunge artifact set. Like, we can do plunge artifacts for like anyone with Cloud Retainer now, right? Let alone the characters that plunge. Except the trigger condition for building up the stacks and how long the stacks last means that in practice there's not many characters who can keep up stacks on it, basically, because it has to ideally you want to keep up 5 stacks. If you want to be able to use the full set bonus of 100% plunging damage bonus, you need to be able to do or do like recurring skill hits, or have charge attacks in your normal rotation, which is not a thing you normally do with plunging units. It's a thing you do with Varesa, but not normally with other plunging units. So basically, and even like Shao, I think probably only maintains 4 stacks is the assumption people are making right now. But 4 stacks is still enough for it to be like better for him in his best teams. But anyways, like I kind of think that like 2-piece plunge bonus almost matters more than the 4-piece plunge set for most characters. We could maybe go through the list of characters that it's relevant for, or I could think of reasons it's relevant for. I haven't actively done it, or I did this briefly when it a few weeks ago on my own time, but It wasn't in prepper. I don't think I'm gonna make a video about it or anything, but it's safe to say like you should not just farm the plunge set just because you want to do plunge shenanigans. Like definitely don't. It's also definitely not Gaming's best set. And the main reason for that is he does not hit with a skill or whatever. His skill, makes him jump in the air and then he plunges. It does not count as a skill hit for maintaining stacks. And he doesn't normally do charge attacks either, and his charge attacks are quite slow. So like it's actually just kind of not good for Gaming at all, which is a little unfortunate in my opinion, because would have been nice to have like another character that was relevant to put that set on. That was intended to be a plunge DPS, but it basically seems to be mostly Varessa and Chung Yun artifact set. And Varessa can use Obsidian Codex, but Obsidian Codex requires changing her attack combo that most people won't do. So realistically, most people, if you're going to get Varessa, you should probably try to get the new artifacts for Varessa. Would Kazuha and Sack sword count? Yes, it should. So yeah, I think there's a lot of, because of the fact that Cloud Retainer enables plunging, or weird things if you want to do Kazuha, if you want to do Kazuha like plunge DPSing. Yes, there should be a lot of like niche scenarios where the artifact set can kind of make sense. The main problem is the scenarios where that artifact set can be like fully enabled for plunge damage bonus is generally speaking on characters where like by using that set on them versus another set, you're sacrificing significantly in other forms of their damage. For example, I play Plunge Yai, right? And Plunge Yai, right? Yai has a skill that will hit, and can keep up stacks potentially, like because every time a skill hits, every 1 second, it will get 2 stacks for the set, which should keep up the damage set or the damage bonus, right? So sweet, you can have 100% plunging damage bonus on Yai, and like yeah, that's going to be the way to see a big plunging damage number on Yai. But remember, her skill is still doing damage, so I'm sacrificing a bunch of potential skill damage or burst damage in exchange for trying to amplify her plunge damage. So that's like where it, like the weirdness of how it doesn't actually really end up being meaningfully better necessarily than just a normal artifact set on her. So yeah, will I potentially farm a little bit of the artifacts on my main account and try it on Plunge Eye if I get an okay build going? Yeah, I suspect it's not going to be as good as my 2-piece combos or whatever other options for her. Is kind of my point there. So I don't know, let's just go down the list of like anyone you can do plunging with. Oh yeah, Diluc is the same thing. Normally when you're doing plunge gameplay with Diluc with Cloud Retainer, you're using C6 Bennett and you're skipping Diluc's skill. You could theoretically do different combos and maybe it could be usable, but like the best current guess is that it's not relevant for Diluc over other existing options. And another big problem, by the way, with the plunge artifact set is the fact that if you're doing plunging shenanigans with characters, right, you're generally speaking doing, the Farina and Cloud Retainer combo specifically. Not always. There's definitely situations where you can use Cloud Retainer without Farina. But a lot of the plunge shenanigans is Cloud Retainer, Farina together. And if you're using Farina, you can use 4-piece MH. And like, even though the 2-piece bonus isn't doing anything for your plunge damage, 36% crit rate for free, especially if, you're using it on a non-crit ascending character, having that free crit rate can be pretty nice. Don't you get stacks from plunging? You only get 1, and it can only get 1 every... So, anyways. I'm just going on the assumption that I've seen from others in that there is downtime. I didn't map it out myself. There should be, if you're only getting stacks from plunging itself, because you get 1 stack from a plunging hit, the way it works, we can go double check the phrasing because they did announce it officially, but if I recall, the phrasing is like, you can max 5 stacks, but each stack I think is counted independently, right? If I recall. So that means if you're not using a skill in particular at minimum, like a skill is hitting, then is a little. You end up not having much uptime on the damage bonus. Yeah, I would not recommend bow plunging. So yeah, we can we can just remove bows from this. So characters that could theoretically use the plunge set, but like it's probably not really necessarily that relevant because either 4-piece MH or they do enough damage through other forms that like that sacrificing, like Yai for example, sacrificing her skill damage is probably not necessarily worth amplifying the 4-piece or with the plunging bonus, even if she can maintain the stacks. So, and I don't even think Yai is necessarily going to maintain the full stacks either, based on whatever. So, anyways, no, well, this is gonna take a little bit of time. And so no, probably no. Well, she's weird because you can do her tap skill. You know what? I'm gonna say maybe, but again, like 4-piece MH exists if you're doing plunge Lisa, so maybe. But like, I don't know if I'd farm it for her.
I wonder when I'll be as tall as
Maybe again because I don't know if I think her skill hitting enemies does count as hitting even if it doesn't deal damage. I think I'm not 100% sure. So maybe for plunge Barbara, I guess. But like, yeah, that's what I thought. It had a low cooldown. Okay. Again, maybe, yeah. I think Razor maybe. Again, I'm not confident on it, but I don't know how many people are really doing plunge Razor. Maybe. like again, like Guoba hits recurringly over enough time that maybe he can help keep up enough stacks that it's kind of relevant for plunge Chun-Li, I guess. Probably not. Probably not. She does have a lowish cooldown. No, it's like 10 seconds, isn't it? No, it's 12 seconds. I thought it was lower than that. Okay, never mind. No, probably. Unless... probably no.
Benny's adventure team,
you know what? I think it's possible plunge Bennett could actually be one of the more compelling options. Would require like doing some extra ease, but that's I think something you might want to do anyways with plunge Bennett. So you know what? Yeah, DPS plunge Bennett. You don't really have a need to spec him into other forms of damage or anything, and his low skill cooldown in his burst, I think could enable the plunge set to be relevant on Bennett. But again, is it better than 4-piece MH? Yeah, I'm down. I don't know. Assuming you're doing Farina, right? I don't know if people are doing sit lolly plunge Bennett or not. Plunge Navia? No, definitely not. Because plunge Navia, you'd sacrifice way too much skill damage. I definitely don't think you'd do plunge Navia on the new set. Her skill damage is too relevant. No, I don't think. No, I think just no. Hard maybe because of his A4 kind of maybe being okay, but there'd be significant enough downtime that I'd say probably no. And again, 4-piece MH as always. Probably no again, although doing charge attacks on her is not that hard. They're relatively fast. So that might be a slight nuance, but I don't know, maybe. If you really like plunge Sucrose, it's maybe a consideration, I think. But again, 4-piece MH exists, so like probably not. But again, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of you might want to do shenanigans with her charge attack anyways because of her. Well, you're doing fall damage. I don't know. I already mentioned dilute before. Probably no. Maybe, but like, yeah. Again, MH maybe, but like, yeah. Well, I don't know. You might not be doing. If you're doing Farina, you're probably not. If you're doing a Hydro Plunge Catalyst DPSing, You're trying to do forward vaporize, you're not using Farina, most likely. So maybe it is actually okay. I don't remember. Does her skill actually hit multiple times? With like the right delays that it would, with the right duration specifically, that it would actually help keep up stacks. It might be okay. I don't remember how long it lasts for and whatever, but I think it actually might be okay on Mona. Especially because she probably wouldn't use MH. Kaching, probably no.
These bombs, so heavy.
It's possible her skill hits. Her skill's mines, I think, count as skill damage, right? So if they explode at the right time, it's possible they actually help keep up stacks. So again, hard maybe, but weird. Probably no. I guess yes. You don't really care about his skill damage, but again, 4-piece MH, so you know there's that factor as always. So like maybe. I don't know if you're doing. I feel like if you're doing on-field DPS Zhongli memes though, if you want to osmanthus wine your life away, you probably are doing physical Zhongli because it's actually kind of a real thing. It's kind of fun. I don't know. Is plunge Zhongli probably better than physical Zhongli still? Yes, almost assuredly. So I don't know. Maybe a consideration. Again, maybe. Again, Farina context muddles things though with 4-piece MH. Xiao is a yes, or one of the rare yeses, just kind of universally. So Hu Dao doesn't hit with her skill. Again, the problem is like 4-piece MH is really good for Hu Dao. Especially in a plunge team. So like I don't think it's relevant. Like 36 crit value, or sorry, 72 crit value plus the 2-piece bonus actually does something, because like so plunge Hu Tao is like doing N1 charge attack, jump cancel, plunge, right? You're still doing charge attack damage. Oh yeah, she does do skill damage with the mark. That actually might help keep up the plunge set. That's true. I don't know. She's a weird one. I think theoretically, if you have a really good 4-piece plunge set, the 4-piece plunge set might be better for plunge Hu Tao than MH. But I think the vast majority of people will stick towards MH, and you're only going to see returns in really specific contexts. Like, charge attacks though? Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, that's why I'm like she should be able to maintain stacks on it, I think. But MH is also kind of perfect for her in her plunge teams. And she's a crit damage ascending character, and like you might use Homa. If you're crit damage ascending character with Homa, boy is that crit rate really appreciated. And I think the vast majority of players are gonna should just stick to 4-piece MH, right? So I don't know. Look at the thighs. What are you talking about? Xiao's thighs? Anyways, I mean, kind of. Maybe. Kind of. Plunge Rosaria has a short skill cooldown. Use it multiple times. In fact, it's short enough that it should match up with the... Yeah, so, Rosaria might be okay, but again, 4-piece MH. Especially with Rosaria's crit rate passive, giving it bonus crit rate from having higher crit rate. So, like, 4-piece MH exists, so if you're doing Farina plunging, but if you're not doing Farina plunging for whatever reason, you're doing something else, then maybe. What's your cooldown on your skill? 9 seconds. Well, you're doing... Do you... I don't know. Can you... I'm trying to, like, compute. Do you fit in... Does it make sense if you're doing plunge Yanfei? Do people do that? Do people do, like, skill, charge attack, burst, charge attack, and plunging with plunge Yanfei? Shenhe with Chung Yun and Yun? Yeah, you can do that. That would be maybe the plunge set makes sense there. I don't know. I'm not sure. I feel like Yanfei actually might be a circumstance where it can make sense. Because I feel like if you're doing plunge Yanfei anyways, you probably are actually doing, like, charge attacks in your combo in some form. Like, you may as well use the burst in skill. Right? You hopefully get a vaporize in your skill activation, you get a vaporize in the burst activation, and then you get the charge attack damage from the seals. Like, they're fast enough, and then you do plunges on top of that, right? So, not gonna say yes, but I think one of the higher potential ones. If you were doing that.
A blade embraces its duty.
Maybe. Again, she can do, like, charge attacks, so, like, I don't know. There's, like... The weirdness is, like, there's ways to, like, in a lot of characters to maintain stacks with combos, and, like, Kazuha, we said before, is, like, a maybe. Eula, plunge Eula, probably... I mean, she does have a low skill cooldown that can probably help keep up stacks. Low enough skill cooldown, at least. I guess plunge Eula probably is okay in the set, but again, like, versus 4-piece MH, Same start to Kazuha. It's the versus 4-piece MH, and then, like, questionable amounts of, like, stack up time still. If the stack generation works like it, I've been told it does. I think no. I mean, I don't know why you're doing plunge Raiden, but if you are, no. Well, okay. I mean, I guess if you are doing plunge Raiden, maybe yes, but like, probably just do 4-piece MH. Oh boy, but maybe. I don't know. I don't know what you're doing if you're doing plunge Raiden. Plunge Kokomi, the character that can't crit. I mean, don't let me stop you. Don't let me stop you. I don't know why you're doing plunge Kokomi versus, like, plunge Barbara, to be completely honest. But she can crit though. I mean, yeah, but then you're using 4-piece MH, right? So, like, I'm gonna say no for plunge Kokomi. The set is very cope. Yeah, that is basically the end result. Is like we can kind of be like asterisks in different situations for a bunch of different characters. I'm gonna say no for plunge Toma. Plunge Ito I think is a no. Yeah, I think it's a no for him. No. I think no. Yeah, I mentioned before, like, yes, but you're sacrificing skill damage, so, like, actually no is my guess. Do people do plunge Ayato? I feel like if you like Ayato, you're just doing Ayato things. So I'm gonna say no. I guess maybe, but again, 4-piece MH exists, so you're probably doing, like, if you're doing plunge Kuki, you're probably doing the Farina, probably, but maybe not. I don't know. So no. Did I skip Child? I feel like I skipped Child somehow. Oh no, he's a bow character. Yeah, never mind. Derp. So he, I think Hazo actually might be one of the ideal users for it. Not because, like, I think what you want to do is you want to do a charge attack skill to start anyways, oftentimes, or if not right away. By the way, that's part of the problem with Valgate in this set is, like, the characters, even the characters that can potentially keep up stacks on it, they're usually not going to necessarily have stacks at the start of the rotation. And that makes it a little bit more sus. But, so I don't know if Hazo's exactly going to get at the start of the rotation. But I think he can maintain enough stacks on it that it's probably relevant for plunge Hazo. So you know what, I will say yes for plunge Hazo. But again, with the asterisk of 4-piece MH exists. So I don't know exactly if it will make sense for you, because C6 gives crit damage more than crit rate, right? Oh no, he gives... when he possesses conviction. Okay, so he gets a bunch of crit rate. Interesting. So I don't know. His C6 gives crit rate, so maybe it is very workable to use plunge set. I think it would be a consideration. I think it's actually a consideration to use the plunge set on him. Might be a little bit iffy in like having to require certain attack combos, whatever. But yeah, probably no. Probably no, but like, yeah, 4-piece MH and like Candace. If you're doing plunge Candace, I'm gonna assume you're actually trying to do Hydro plunge Candace and not Pyro plunge Candace, because I think that's more interesting if you're trying to utilize Candace's kit. But I don't know. She can use her skill to help keep up stacks potentially. 6-second press cooldown, right? Maybe, but like MH. Well, I don't know if you're doing. Well, no, if you're doing Hydro Plunge Candace, probably not doing for you. So you know what? I'll say probable yes on Farina on Plunge Candace. That actually makes me kind of want to farm the set more on my main account. Probably not. I don't know if there's a good way to work. I mean, look, the real question is Plunge Sino better than doing normal Sino things? You can get Electro Plunges on him, can't you? Yeah. He does get Electro on his plunges, and at least it includes it in the multiplier, so I'm assuming it does. I don't know. I feel like if you like Sino, you probably like his normal gameplay. So, like, it's the same as Ayato. Why are you actually doing Plunge? I don't know. If you really want to, maybe there's a way it could work, but, like, yeah. I'm gonna say no for well, maybe. Hard maybe. Because Nilu skill, I think, would count as hitting enemies, and I think might keep up the set bonus okay, at least. So maybe. Again, I think the problem with her is a similar problem with Yai. Wherein, like, well, it might work well. I think you are going to lose out on enough skill damage that's not necessarily worthwhile. So, hard, maybe. This is what every character other than Xiao and Vress is just like, maybe. Yes, kind of similar story her if you're doing fusion shenanigans, maybe. No. Yeah, again, maybe. But again, 4-piece MH. And that's the main reason for all the maybes is like if Farina is a synergy for plunge DPSing. No. Okay. I like doing not plunge Dehya because I can get Dehya with burst skill damage to a threshold that I can make Dehya burst and skilling be better. But like, yes, plunging is probably better because yes, C6 Bennett go burr. And she's a Claymore. And she theoretically with her coordinated attacks might help keep up the bonus that it's like okay. But again, are you really doing that instead of like 4-piece MH on her to get free crit rate from Farina? I'm gonna guess not. So I'm just gonna say no, but technically maybe. No. Can use a skill multiple times. Again, hard maybe, but I think you probably just use MH. But I think there's also some non-Farina plunge teams you might want to play with him, so I don't know. Don't yap too much? Yeah, I know, I'm just trying to finish this like artifact plunge yap. I'm gonna say no. No, there's too many ways. I'm just gonna say no because there's too many fun ways to DPS Kirara. And in my opinion, if you're doing plunge Kirara, you're not having as much fun with her. But if you really want to do plunge Kirara, it might be okay. It might be okay to be able to keep up stacks with it. But again, 4-piece MH exists. It's just a side effect of the Farina Chung Yun combo being like the default combo for plunging normally. I think it's pretty easy probably to fit in some charge attacks even if need be. To build up stacks. So you know what? I'll say maybe, but leaning towards yes on Lynette. But again, plunge, the 4-piece MH exists, so like, is it worth farming for over your existing MH set? Probably not. But a little more in-depth on Baiju. I mean, his skill doesn't really hit multiple times over a duration, and you don't really have a good way of interweaving his like slow molasses charge attacks to try to keep up stacks either in some form. Like, I just don't think you keep up stacks based on my understanding how the set works. I could be wrong on how the set works, but I'm just going off of what others have said and I've learned about the set. With his chewed charges, I mean, I'm not going to assume people have C1 Baiju. If you have C1 Baiju, that might help, yes. Like, it may, I don't know, it might not be the worst, I guess. It might be okay, but again, I feel like you're 4-piece MH, but if you're doing plunge Baiju, I guess. If you're doing plunge Baiju without Farina, maybe. Again, maybe. I don't know if you normally care about weaving in skills with plunge Fremine, but it might be possible to do so, and that might make it okay. And he does get some... Wait, no, his crit rate is only for... This is crit damage, yeah, and then this is crit rate, but it's only of its skill, so... I think you probably just do 4-piece MH instead. So I'm going to say maybe, but like, probably leaning heavily towards no. No. I mean, okay, well, no. Well. So, the funny thing is, like, you do like skill, and then just do his little charge attack. Like, just hold briefly and then let go, and it does a little squirt. That would get a 2 stacks up. And you can do that again to regenerate 2 stacks, potentially. So... And considering that if you're doing plunge and Nubulite, you're probably not using Farina, and you can't really use MH because he's not draining his HP. So, you know what? I think I kind of would lean towards it for plunge Nubulite. Why are you doing plunge Nubulite as anything other than memeing? I mean, yeah, but if you're that dedicated to the meme, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I think his skill does technically hit once, but it doesn't hit multiple times, so it's a little sus. It's only, But you can potentially weave in charge attacks. Like, I assume if you're doing plunge Risley, you're probably... Do you have to do normal attacks to get to use his like rebuke charge attack? Normal attack will be enhanced to become review faulty fist. Not consume stamina. Less than 60% heal obtain a gracious rebuke. Okay. Answer penalty if it's a normal attack. It will consume HP. Yeah, if you don't do normal attacks, you don't consume HP. And if you don't consume HP, well, if you're using Farina, you're consuming HP. Oh, his skill doesn't hit? Oh, I thought it did for some reason. Oh yeah, you're right. It doesn't. I'm stupid. All right, so that's not ideal. I'm gonna say no for plunge Risley, because I think you just use 4-piece MH still. I'm going to say no, because again, 4-piece MH exists. Similar story to potentially Yai Nahida sacrificing skill damage, not necessarily worth it. She enables 4-piece MH for herself, so, like, why? Right. But, I don't know, maybe, with asterisks, maybe, I guess, but, like, yeah. Charlotte has skill damage. I'm aware. That's why I hesitated. I just don't think it's relevant overdoing 4-piece MH on a 4-star character that doesn't ascend with crit. Like Farina, you could argue because like I don't know, maybe you have Jade Cutter. Jade Cutter, she's a crit rate ascending character. That's why you would do maybe the 4-piece plunge set on Farina. Maybe. There's like very niche reasons, but like Charlotte, her plunge damage is also negligible. I mean, yeah. No, I haven't done the event yet. We mentioned Navia before. I don't think it makes sense because her skill damage is quite significant. No. No. We already talked about him. I think no. With asterisk of I guess C1 may be good. If you have C1, maybe. Because you can do skill, plunge, do a couple normal plunges, do another skill, refresh the stack duration. Maybe. But like, yeah, it's like maybe a C6 Cloud Retainer set more than anything. Because I don't know, it's still like again the stacks are independent, so like not having easy charge attacks in comp, but I think you could do it. Yeah, I don't know. So like probably no, because again, if you're doing Farina, if you're doing DPS Cloud Retainer, probably doing Farina Cloud Retainer, and she doesn't ascend with crit, 4-piece MH, yay, right? Like. I still think you maybe lean towards 4-piece MH, but maybe. Same story, basically. So Arlecchino doesn't get the buff from her Mask of Red Death state to her plunges, which is a good design decision in my opinion. But if you're doing it, you can definitely hit with a charge attack when you're absorbing Bond of Life to generate a stack. And her skill does hit. Her skill hits multiple times even with the delay, which will help refresh the stack duration on the skill hit. So like, unironically, you shouldn't do plunge Arlecchino. It's just going to be a lot worse than normal Arlecchino. I don't know why you're doing it. But I actually think Arlecchino's kit technically might be one of the better ones. And doing it, at keeping up the set. So like, I guess if you're doing plunge Arlecchino, it's probably her best set, technically, which is funny. But why are you doing plunge Arlecchino? Because it matches her? There you go. It's the drip artifact set. There you go. No. Cursed Arlecchino playstyle. Yeah, I mean, you do that because you just want to see like the deep like blood red plunge animation versus the normal plunge color. I don't know, right? Yeah, the Mimi drip artifacts playstyle, I guess. No, I don't think you. Even if you can keep up stacks, I don't think you care. It's sacrificing too much of her passive damage, sacrificing too much of her whatever. Not to mention Emily's burning artifact set gives, I believe, universal 50% damage bonus, which would apply to plunges. So like, it's not even that much better for plunges, and you're sacrificing all of her skill passive burst damage in exchange for a tiny bit more plunge damage. That's assuming you could keep up full stacks. So like, just hard no. Extreme hard no. Like, never do it on plunge Emily. The burning set would just be better. Anyways, what's the title referring to? Events. I haven't done the event yet. Yeah, she doesn't do Dendro normal attacks until C6. But even with C6, right? Again, she does a bunch of her other normal damage. Like, I don't think it's better at C6 even. Even when you start doing, like, normal charge attacks, whatever, right? So, like, no. I assume some of these people just want to pair her with Cloud Retainer. Well, yeah. I'm not saying don't do Plunge Emily. I'm saying don't do Plunge Emily on the new artifact set. By Serenity. By Anti-Serenity. I feel like it's rude to call you Serenity when your name is literally Anti-Serenity. Why the well now we're in that line category, wherein like okay, yes, but codex, so no. Yes, but if you're memeing with plunge Mulaney, sure, but codex. With Mulaney, there's the asterisk of like you could technically skill, you could do some cringe setups, and because of the fact that she ascends a crit rate, there's maybe more reason to consider doing. Like I don't know why you're doing plunge Mulaney, but like I guess maybe, but like please no. Again, codex if you're doing plunge, so no. Codex, so no. Codex, so no. Codex, so no. Nah, I don't know. If you're doing 2 skills per rotation, maybe, but I think you probably use it 4-piece MH still. I would just use 4-piece MH probably. If you're considering choosing the plunge set, I would just use 4-piece MH because skill and burst damage is still relevant enough with DPS Lanyon that I don't think it matters. How would he use Codex? Oh yeah, that's true. He doesn't go into a skill state. Okay, but he doesn't keep up. He doesn't have any way of keeping up the stacks. So, don't do plunge Kanich other than with MH, is I guess what the statement is. That's true. He can't use Codex, but he also should not use the plunge set if you're doing plunge Kanich. If you're doing plunge Kanich, you're stuck to MH. Oh well. Mulaney cannot plunge in skill. No, I know she can't plunge in skill. I'm not stupid. But, oh wait, her skill doesn't count as a skill hit, does it? Because it just puts her into the state. Or does it count as a skill hit? Does this count as a skill hit? I have no idea. I know it counts as normal attack type damage, but I don't know if it counts as a skill hit for... Oh, we didn't talk about the Travelers. Ugh. No, I know it doesn't hit, guys. But there's a difference between normal attack type damage, the type of damage, and because what the set says when a skill hits, and it's uses the skill multipliers to do the damage. It might count as a skill hit technically, which is what I was thinking before. What I was thinking, you jump on the shark, you click normal attack once, you get off, and then you do plunges. Which is like some stupid scuffed R setups. I don't know, just don't do plunge Mulaney, but I guess there might be some, that's my point, is there might be some extreme scuffed R setups with plunge Mulaney. I was not saying doing plunge while you're on the surfboard. But like why? And then you just know just do 4-piece MH. Your skill doesn't, you can't plunge with her skill. So she doesn't even have any skill hits. You definitely don't want to do charge attacks, I think, because they're terrible. Yeah, I don't think there's any real way. Now, with Lanyon, there might be a way to make the plunge set work. Yumi Mizuki is a no. Lanyon is a maybe, but like probably just use MH. So, safe to say, based on the whole list, Travelers, I will say, like, yes, Pyro Traveler maybe, but also Codex. Again, Codex. Why would you not just use Codex? Dendro Traveler, I guess, maybe. Just Travelers, generally speaking, no, because 4-piece MH exists. Why are we forcing every character to plunge again? We're not forcing. I'm just going through the list of, like, hypothetically, if you're doing plunge for any... Because you want to do plunge DPSing for any of these characters for whatever reason, does the plunge set potentially maybe work? And, like, I think there's lots of, like, maybes, but... It's so very maybe for basically every character in the game that the artifact set may as well not exist. And this is on the assumption that the stacks are counted separately for each damage type rather than adding up total, which could be wrong, but based on what we've been told, yeah, it's just not going to work on most characters very well. But some characters might keep up stacks enough that it's like an option, but probably not an option you farm for. I think the reason you would consider farming the plunge set is for Varessa primarily, and secondarily for Shao, but it's also not necessarily so much better on Shao It's going to change your experience of using Shao. It definitely isn't. So like on your own main account, the thing that will change your experience of using Shao is going to be like having Cloud Retainer, having Farina, having C6 Farazan. That will change your experience far more than like whether or not you're doing a like I think Zajev described the 4-piece plunge artifact set on Shao as like the difference from going from 2-piece on Shao to 4-piece Vermilion is like the best case scenario of going from 4-piece Vermilion to 4-piece of the new plunge set. So like maybe if you're a dedicated Shao main who's still on 2-piece, you would consider switching to the new set, but it's not necessarily so much better that like it's really worth farming if you're already on a really good build kind of thing, right? So yeah. Anyways, this is the crystal flycatcher. Sure, yeah. No, we haven't done anecdotes. We'll go on to my main account and do anecdotes in a second. Did we finish resin here? Did I finish everything here? I think I did. Cool. Alright. By the way, why does Mahoy keep doing this with polearms only? I need to use this as a lesson for next year, to not do stupid things like I did this year. But thankfully there's no, other than Neon's on, there's not really any 4-stars to cause me to make these mistakes again, I think. But Mihoyo, if they're releasing a Cryo Chevreuse 5-star, the patch after Eon's on, that's extremely rude. Like, just extremely rude. Which means the ideal circumstance for polearms only is probably going to be getting... I really want to get C2 Eons on. I think it's worth risking 5-stars for that. So I'm probably going to end up getting a 5-star in going for C2 Eons on this account. Hopefully I lose the 50-50, and then I have a guarantee for Cryo Chevreuse, assuming that character is real. But anyways, we'll see. We'll see in a little bit. But also just extremely rude, timing-wise, to like go... Right, the last character that was released that like... Yes, there's Kachina. But like the last character that was released that like had to be wished for, actually, on polearms only, was Emily. And it's like, okay, well, that's fine. It gives me the ability to like do things like wish for Toma. And that's why I have the Raiden constellations. I got 3 Raiden constellations and going for C6 Toma. And then, you know, it's why I had the ability to like, okay, sure, we'll go for C2 Shenhe, because we had 45,000 Primo Gems. And then Mihoyo was like, surprise! Bennett 2 Polearm Edition. And then surprise, Cryo Chevreuse, Free Chevreuse 5-star right after that, maybe. Like, extremely rude. Could you balance it out a little bit more, Mihoyo, so I can make better decisions? Because it's really hard to make informed decisions on this account when there's, like, such big gaps in, like, when Polearm units releases. Anyways, so, point being, especially considering that 5-star Cryo Freeze Chevreuse might be coming out as a polearm unit, I definitely am not going to go for C6 Eons on polearms only, unless I get something stupid absurd that happens, like getting 4 copies of Eons on in the first 10 pull. Then maybe it'll be like, well, we're not risking that much, right? So, but yeah, anyways. Clearly Mihoyo hates me. And specifically hates polearm. No, that thing, obviously not. I think it's just quinky dink. I could have made better decisions, to say the least. I definitely, in hindsight, should not have gone for C2 Shenhe. Especially with how poorly it went. Because I would quite literally, if I had not gone for C2 Shenhe at all, I'd have like 70,000 Primo Gems right now. I'm not kidding. Or close to it. So... I think it would be about 65,000. Oops. Oh well. I kind of don't regret it though, especially because like this new Cryo Chevreuse might give me more value for having C2 Shenhe. So, you know, and like C1 Shenhe I think was actually quite worth it because like it really enabled her to be quite a bit more flexible. And in a way that was, it made the team feel a lot better to play. So I don't really regret it, but at the same time, it definitely wasn't worth it. So, anyways, let's do this stupid event. When did I start my polearm only account? I believe May of 2022. Yep. May 2022. At least Volcano will give a lot of primos. Yep. As long as it doesn't go, as long as I don't get like annoyingly unlucky on polearms only, we should be fine. Like even if we like, if we get like normal luck, it takes 90 pulls to get normal average luck, get 90 pulls to get to C2 Eons on, and then the game gives us a 50-50 win instead of a 50-50 loss. Oh well, in my opinion, it'll be an oh well. I think we should still have enough to get the character. It's a little unfortunate that we won't be able to potentially get their weapon though, unless we get lucky, but we'll see. It might be another grinding opportunity for polearms only, so there might be some grinding live streams when that character comes out. We'll see. I can't believe like a similar circumstance happened with Arlecchino, by the way. Where like Arlecchino, we just kind of went all in on Arlecchino. We had a ton of resources, did a bunch of farming to try to get Caesar's Arlecchino, right? And then Emily released a couple patches later, and it's just like, well, crap. But I was able to win a 50-50 for Emily, and then I won the 50-50 or 25 or whatever the 25, 75, 30, 37.5, 37.5, 25. I won the 37.5 for Emily weapon on polearms only, and then had spare wishes, so continued wishing for Emily, lost a 50-50, but then oops, lol, nope, just kidding. The literal next poll is an Emily, so functionally won a 50-50, and then 20 more wishes, won another 50-50. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I got stupid lucky with Emily, to say the least. So, anyways, can we just do this, please? Yeah. All right. Point being, yup. Maybe it'll happen again, but I'm not going to assume that. All right, go edit. What is this? What is this? I have not seen this at all. We get 3 Eon Sons and 1 10 pull. Yeah, that would be very nice. If I get 3 Eon Sons, if I specifically just like games like, all right, here's your C2. I'm gonna have to take that as a moment of like, all right, thank you for the generosity game. You gave me exactly what I wanted in polearms only. Let's be smart and stop because there's a future 5-star character coming out, right? So, yeah. Anyways, what the frick? Okay. I don't want to think about this. Should I just show Sucrose? Okay, you know what? Fine. We'll do it. Well, I'll do it once genuinely. There's not even any music here. Why is there no music with this? I'll go put music on because I'm gonna have to read and focus on what it actually says and whatever. Okay, give me a second. Here, we'll shuffle the thing. Shuffly shuffle. It's all Fontaine music. Alright. Rapid music incoming. No. Alright. Cheat, no one is watching. I mean, we might, if I forget when I go into the other 2 accounts, because I kind of want to get the Primo Gems for this on the casual account. Is that too loud? I think it's fine. I don't know, let me know if it's too loud. But no, we'll cheat if I need to. It just gives you extra rewards for correct order. Oh, frick. I didn't even think about that factor. Man. Okay, you know what? Never mind. We are cheating. What is this called? A real adventure? This might be a rare opportunity for Game8 to be useful. I appreciate their existence even if they sometimes say stupid things on their website. You just gotta read. I have decided I don't want to. I was convinced. Oh, they even have a GIF. Oh my god. Wait, why is it still playing? I tried to pause it. What? Wait. Now we can. No, we get to turn this into a different game. I'm gonna try to memorize what they do. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn it into a different game. Alright. Yep, okay. And 3 is... Okay. I'm trying to memorize the pattern. Oh my god, there's so many more slots than I thought there were. Jesus Christ. Oh, this is gonna be so hard to memorize. Okay. Okay. What? Oh, frick. Oops. Oops. Frick. I think it was there, and then... Oops. I think it was the hilly trail? No. This was 12. Was it 12? I could read. Okay, I think it might have been this one. And then... Well, this was 12, so this... Okay, I can logic without reading. I think you just gotta trust me, I'm not looking over here. This was 12, and this makes more sense to be before 12 than this does, so we'll do this. And then this. And then... Wait. Oh. Well, hopefully that's correct. I guess we can check. I miscounted. Please. Where is it? Ah, frick. Well, also, really? Oh, I love that. What, is there a screenshot instead? Is it? It's only a video file? Ugh. Whatever. Scroll. There's an image below. Is it? Oh, there we go. That's why. For some reason, a little distracting. Anyways, all right, perfect. So how close was I? Oh god, I messed up really big. Okay. Oh god, can I reset? Flap. All right. 1, 2, 3. What? Oh freaking god! I really wish I could just select these in order without having to go back to the top. Oh my god, Jesus Christ! Get. All right. No. All right. Well, I tried to turn it into a memorization game. All right. No. Okay. Oh wait. Oops. I had the thing up. Sorry. Give me a jet. Flap. Wow, this is truly the most... This is one of the events. I just did that wrong. Whoops, where's number 8? Number 8 is this one. Number 9 is this one. This is definitely an event of all time. Where's 9? Oh no, I just did 9. I'm stupid. It's fine. This is 10, this is 11, and then this is 12. Alright. This is way too loud. I literally cannot put it much lower than this. Did you just say thank you? I didn't lower the volume. Okay. Fixed. There you go. I fixed it. Why is it? I tried to turn it back up. It's just not playing any audio anymore. Oh, it's paused. Why is it paused? What? Like, if I open up the context menu, this is the lowest I can go. It was at here before. Like, I can go this low, technically. Anyways, yeah, I think music is definitely better because there's, like, no real audio with this. Oh, it's the combat song from Economia again. Anyways, yeah, that's fine. I was just messing around. I will change the audio settings if it's bad. Alright. No, not... Oh, free me. I have to do this on 3 accounts. Oh... I don't know if I want to subject you guys to this on 3 accounts. Can we do something else? I can do this on my own. I can do this during D&D. Should we ice bridge? Is it time to ice bridge? Is it time to ice bridge? Oh wait, I also forgot I could have adjusted the audio in my OBS settings as well. That would have been easier. It is definitely a D&D. Like, it's a brainless. I can just alt tab into the, yeah, when I'm not, like, it's not something I have to pay attention to that much. I can just tab into the game when I have time during D&D and do this on all 3 accounts. But, like, yeah, this is not exactly an event that I thought there would be some kind of interesting reason to do this on stream. There was not. There really isn't. Yep. I don't know. I think it has to have something a little bit more interactive, and that UI is actively annoying. But anyways, no, I don't need to have someone log in to do it for me. That is not the problem. Do the D&D ad once? Oh wait, there's a literal D&D ad. What? Do I have to do it through here? This one, I assume? Alright. If there's a fun one, we'll do the fun one. Time for a final commission. This one's simple. Recruitment advert for... Okay, no, just... Champion duelist, president of Spina Razula. Okay. Farina. Wow. Alright. Okay. Synopsis, thoughts 1 through 6. Okay. Scene revolves around members of the tabletop troupe taking part in an activity together. Guided by their game master, Clorinde, they encounter a merchant, a stern shield crab blocking their path, and a cryo regis vine guarding some treasure, in that order. Navia, who is playing an adventurer, will attempt to use persuasion in each encounter. Okay. So, probably... Wait, these look very similar. Great, thank you for... What is the difference between... Okay, like, so in this one, Linny... They're looking at all each other rather. They're looking at Clorinde. Okay. So this is probably the start. Oh, it has... Oh, I see. Okay, that helps. Oh, I see. Okay, that helps a lot. Your search for the legendary treasure to let you turn nervous merchants. Okay, so this is not the beginning. Okay, I guess it's this. Just looking at what all the text is. Search for legendary treasure, speak with plants. Natural 20, persuasion on it. Join table. Oh, that's the end. Wait, there's an advertise. Oh yeah, this is an advertisement. Yeah, duh. Why? Who advertises for their whatever? It's fine. Okay, yeah, so this is the beginning. Okay. And then they encounter a merchant. Is that a merchant? It's probably a merchant. And then a crab. And then... Oh, wait. Okay, I see. Never mind. Okay, so this is number 3. And then this is number 4. Alright. And... Right. Yeah, because she says, you can convince her to show you the way, and suddenly a crab appears, right? And okay, and then, yeah. She has to use persuasion on it. Haha. This hurts? What do you mean this hurts? They say a merchant appears. One is wrong? What? There's no other one that's generic starting point. This seems like the end point for the thing. This is the start? Oh, I didn't read the whole merchant part. Oops. I read the first line, the first words, and I was like, okay, that's a contextual thing. So that is the beginning. What the f... Ugh, whatever. It's fine. Anyways, if it was starting with Linny, they'd say Linny. I wouldn't say this is starting with Linny. This is a generic, hey, we're getting together to do D&D. That's what my, like, I don't think my intuition of this was that off of, like, this is a generic shot of, wow, we're getting, it's an ad, right? It's a video ad. We're getting together to play D&D, right? I'm not saying that's the best start for an ad, but, like, I don't think that's wrong. Anyways. Whatever. And I thought this was not it because I thought this was a contextual statement. That is a really weird statement to say to immediately start something. That's my opinion. But anyways. That should be fine. Can still move out of the way. That I think is correct. Cry of Righteous Vine is next, right? So, okay, tip from the Stern Shield Crab. What? Oh, okay, so yeah, she used Persuasion. Find a treasure, standing guard above it is a cold and forgiving Cry of Righteous Vine. Okay, Persuasion on it. And that's through 6. Okay, cool. After Ferna questions the idea, well, that's this one, right? Yeah. Navi responds to showing she has to speak with plants about it. Of course. That would probably be like number 9. She has speak with plants now. It's the second table. Okay. And Linny and Lynette recite slogans for the tabletop troupe. Okay. Oops. Okay. It's a crapshoot. Okay, chat, which one is first? It's literally a crapshoot. 5 is wrong? What? Linny first? Okay. Navia chest is 10? What? No, you're insane. You're trolling. I don't think... no. Not voiced, sad. Is this voiced in other languages? It might just not be voiced in English again. what the frick was the animation? The cry, right? Just like recoiling and popping out again. Oh crap! You're right. That could have been. Oh frick! Oh wait, I can replay it. I do need to get. I need to get like screenshots actually.
Wait.
Oh,
Surely
what the
you
frick!
can't use persuasion on plants.
My God. Okay, I didn't expect this. Wait. Hello, Freenet. Yeah, it's a pity that Navia in particular isn't able to speak here. Wow. You found the treasure.
Together with your friends, adventure awaits.
Wow. Oh, sad. No last line voiced. Unfortunate. Yeah, this would be better if it was voiced, obviously. Oh well. And definitely not partially voiced. Okay. I need to jot a note down. I'm not going to do it now, but take screenshots of characters in advertisement event for thumbnail poses. View final. What do you mean? I don't know what this is. Okay. You can rearrange to get the one you want first. Yeah, no, I know. I understand. I just don't need to do it right now. I can do it whenever I feel. Well, by whenever I feel, I mean in the next 11 hours and 11 minutes, which I plan to do during D&D again. So like, my D&D task is to finish these, I think, on the other ones. So now there's no other fun ones then? That was the most fun one? Yeah, that was kind of cool. I like that one at least. Bar is on. Okay, this music does not match. Anyways, yeah. Okay, so anyway, yeah, I'm gonna do the Ito one. It's terrible. Okay, is that Ito? Oh, that is Ito. Okay, interesting. All right, Shellings is okay. Faro's on one looks kind of cool. Well, all right, I will update in Discord later today if I have meaningful thoughts on those, but I think I will spare you guys having to click through every single one of those on 3 different accounts. Alright, good. Gonna make sure I get the radishes. Alright, Ito one just doesn't make sense, yeah. I will probably agree with people. If most of you guys think it doesn't make sense, I'll probably just be like, what? Immediately. But, alright, we do have one more thing to do. At least, on my main account. Live. And this I do want to do live because, you know, I think it might be slightly fun. At least. And it is going to be more reading. But, you know, I want to do it. Because I think it's easier to do this live to motivate me to do it. This is another thing I could technically do during D&D, but, you know. Far zones could very well be based on true events. Alright, that's interesting. Shellings has a voice. That's good. Yeah, the anecdotes. I gotta do those. I'll spare you the flashbang from the loading screen. There we go. Alright. Should I keep the music playing in the background? I don't know. I think I will. Why not? It might. Maybe we'll get music that'll... Oh, I have the music muted still. Alright, that's fine. Maybe we'll get music that matches the character anecdote going on. I think I have 15 to do. Yeah, alright. It's gonna take a second. Sorry. And do I need the 120 primos? Definitely not. Oh yeah, I did this one on my Poem Only account before. This time we will try talking to Amber right away. Oh, hello? And then see if we can catch up to the dude. Overworked Amber event, yeah. Anyways, I like these. I like that they included them, but I would kind of definitely vastly prefer I just ran into the characters on my own rather than them being like, hey, here's this thing on the map, go do it now, get your primo gems, right? Rather just like run into them organically, right? But oh well, it's my preference, I suppose. I don't think most people care that much. It's still an improvement. All right, no, that dude disappeared. All right, that's fine. I think we will ignore Dr. Livingstone's tombstone request. What song is this? That is not the Pathway to the Hidden Isles. Alright. I see. Not the Enkonomiya song. That makes sense. Let's put Farzan in the... Or Farzan. Let's put the Chung Yun in the team. For more easy navigation here. I don't know how and where I'm going to have to go, but I bet I'll have to climb some walls. Like here. Yo. Yeah, Zenless's nature of just characters are... Which, by the way, I think they haven't done a decent job with doing as they release new characters for what it's worth in Zenless. I think they got to do better. But at least in general, yeah, the fact that you can find like playable characters around in Zenless is a definite strong point of like just walking around the city. Whatever, or different, not just the city, just the different areas. Can you see my arrows fly faster than the sound of your voice? They probably don't. Why not in Genshin? I mean, this is their attempt to do that in Genshin. They just did it in a different way. Okay. You don't know the way Diona moves, okay? I mean, that's fair. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt, but the burden of proof is on her. If she wants to make the claim that her arrows travel faster than the sound coming out of her mouth, then she can prove that herself. She can go try to measure the speed. Like, I'm not going to believe her, but I'm willing to say it's possible she could be telling the truth. It's possible she could be telling the truth. That her arrows do fly faster than the pew-pew out of her mouth. The pew-pew, I mean, she says pew-pew. That's what she herself just referred to. But... like, just I don't have to believe it. I can say it's possible that it's true while also not believing it. It is possible, but until I see sufficient evidence to believe the claim, I suspect she's not being serious. Where's this from? This is from... I know it's from the Sumeru, obviously, but no, it's not Sumeru. This is Natlan. Where's it from in Natlan? It's from the... Oh, it's from the... Yeah, it's from the Shilonan area in Natlan. Yeah, duh. The beat had to start. Yeah, that's why. Okay. My brain didn't quite recognize it for a second. Why did I think Sumeru at first? Brain. Yeah, no. Obviously, this is the entry area in the Kachina Shilonan tribe area. Hello, D-Luke. Where's the wine boy? You up here? Where are you? I swear to God, you're on the roof. No. Okay. Are you inside? Do I have to go inside? That's not inside. I do the music gameplay for achievements? No. I've done a little bit of it, to be clear, but I haven't done that much. Oh, he's right there. Yeah, it's just empty. I'd never been up there before. Hello. Okay. Uh-oh. Ominous music. We're gonna get murdered by Luke. Batman's gonna kill us. Oh, never mind. Not ominous. What is this? How exciting. Is this Chasm? I was right. Nice. Interesting. Turn up the volume. It's been a while since I listened to Chasm music. Okay. Why'd you stand up? Oh, you're gonna give me a bottle of wine? Sure. Or cider, sorry. No, alcohol doesn't exist. Traveler can't drink alcohol. They're only 2,000 years old. They need to be 2001. This is a playlist on YouTube. I just shuffled Hoyo Mix's top songs on Apple Music. Rosaria. Is she in the bar? Everyone in Mondstadt drinks. Hello, what are you doing? Okay. Okay. Is she gonna assassinate someone? Isn't that the implication with Rosaria, that she's like an assassin for the church? I don't know that much about Rosaria's characterization. I could be very wrong on that. Just like the vibe in the back of my head of what she was implied to be. I think she's just a bad nun. Is this what bad nuns do? They spy on people? The assassin part is her own hobby, not a church thing. Oh, okay. She works for Jean. Ah, I see.
I've heard much about
oh,
your
hello.
deeds, Mr.
Random voice.
Stanley,
Forgot that can happen.
But I'm afraid... Oh, yeah. See, a little bird told me that the legendary treasure hoarder, Big Sis of the South, has the batch of goods I'm moving to Leeway in her sights.
God forbid she has hobbies. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's perfectly fine if you want to have a hobby of killing people.
Stanley, want me to talk to Catherine about this and help this good gentleman out a bit?
It's an acceptable
I wasn't
hobby.
planning on running any errands
No
in Dorman
judgment
Port
here.
Anyway.
Ah, that would be wonderful. I can't thank you enough. Dornman Port, you say?
Okay.
Isn't that quite close to Mondstadt?
They trying to hint that
Should make
that's
our
gonna
route
be
very
actually
safe indeed.
one of the regions in 6.0.
Of course, I'll still need the bulk of manpower on my end instead. Money's no object, so...
Okay.
What? What are you talking about?
Wait, sister, is something the matter with him?
She was okay, her line there kind of implied she's gonna torture him. Okay, so is the implication that she's an inquisitor? You know what? I mean, they exist in history. Well, okay, they probably exist today. I don't think they've shown blood and Genshin.
I don't know any treasure hoarders.
Don't do it, dude. Don't do it. Yeah, she's gonna torture you. No, torture is her work. I can question her work. Assassination is her hobby. Torture is her work. See? Ha! Told you. She has no qualms. This lady is absolutely an inquisitor. She casually is torturing people. For the church. For the church. Alright. I know there might be people in the that are watching the VOD. Okay, I figured it was Zenless music. I wasn't sure what. What was it saying? That was Lycon's music? Alright, interesting. Anyways, that was a fun one though. I enjoyed that one. Amber again, huh? Is she outside or is she... No, she's up. Alright, do this. Alright. Up here, I assume. No? There she is. Hello. But yeah, anyways, the Rosario one was fun. I enjoyed that. I've never heard this one. It's a Spanish one. Yeah, it is. Interesting. You brought a naughty little kitten back to its home. Okay, Amber. When don't... Whatever, it's fine. Don't say naughty little kitten. It comes with implication. Yeah, they know what they were doing. They definitely do. Getting a Gaming, he's fun. I plan on level 9ing him soon, TM, and at least level 12ing his burst. I have his skill at level 12 already. I might crown him eventually. Gaming's existence and his like gameplay loop being more interesting to me for plunge gameplay is part of the reason I don't really think I care about Veresa. That and the fact that I like plungy eye. So like, I'd rather do plungy eye things than plunge Veresa things. That's another factor for why I don't care that much to skip Veresa personally. In favor of my silly video idea. Alright, yeah, go talk to Diona about the cat. Alright. How many of these are there, by the way? Is there only 20 total? Because... Okay, I've done 10 so far, yeah. And now we got official one. She's gotta be in the library, I assume. There's a lot more than 20? Okay, there's like 50? Oh, wow. Alright. I'm assuming they stay in the game. Oh, 20 bar. I'm assuming they stay in the game until... Oh, it's this one. Final. Do you want to hear the increased volume? Yeah, it's the Robin song. I thought it was permanent. It's just the rewards are temporary. Probably says it in here. I guess it doesn't. I don't want to do in particular. Shenhe would be cool to do, actually. Is she on the map? She is. Alright, we'll do Shenhe next. Oh well. Is this one loud? This one feels loud to me. No, people just like the songs that's not loud. Also, sorry, there's actually voice lines here.
Not only do your retainers in the Adventurers Guild speak your true name aloud, but they even named the Heiliga Edicta, the official dictionary.
Okay.
They regard it as no more
Is
than
Fischl
a
voiced? I hope she is.
reference
She's probably
book
not.
meant for mere children to understand
Dub
the
Fischl.
basic
It's gonna go
facts of
poorly,
life.
but sure, I
They
can
do
try.
not
I'd
perceive,
much rather
much less
dub
comprehend
Oz.
the truths concealed within. Alas, such lamentable.
I don't know if I have
mortals.
the voice
Is
official,
this
to say the
not a
least.
form of blasphemy?
Might be a little bit of a mismatch.
Surely it must be so.
Osvaldo, most loyal friend, I know how you feel, but be not wroth, lest the eyes of her... Harafnavins, Harafnavins, which sever day from night, become blinded. Know that I, Fischl, remain the Prinzessin der Vertelung, the judge who presides over all the sin of this world, and she who sees all true knowledge brain. Whatever, I tried. I can't. Yep. No, she's a little bit better at Fischling than me. I can't. I failed. I think drink of water. This is so much Fischl yap, my god. And so, in this, the sequestered store of the sagacity, soaked in stellar sheen, mine royal person shall, in the name of love and nobility, extend clemency upon the guilty masses and forgive them from the sin of their vulgar scorn. This I must do, lest their fates become forever sundered from the for most and greatest of lands. I, the princessin, shall never let such a dismal eon come to pass. All you who pledge loyalty unto me, remember this is so much. All you who pledge loyalty unto me, remember this. I shall raise you up, and like the brightest of stars shall you be, shining from on high in the eternal nighttime sky. Sing for joy, sing for praises. Sorry, sing your praises. Sing praise unto your princessin. Hi, Fischl. Oh, hi. Look, I respect a chunie who is so into their chunie that they chunie alone. Right? That's how you know you're actually a chunie, is when you do that alone. And with others. Like, you gotta do both. You're a true chunie if you do it with others and alone. And you acknowledge that it's cringe, but you do it anyways. Paimon, you're not supposed to speak.
Your Highness, the princessin. Well, we were just passing through, but since the rue please, bestow upon us
What?
Samora.
Just asking for money. Chunie? Yeah, it's C-H-U... Is it two U's? I think it's C-H-U-U-N-I. Look it up. I don't feel like explaining Chunie right now, but it's what Fischl's trope is. I actually think, from the at least because of the island story, I think her Chunie storyline is actually pretty well done.
She is not simply making excuses because she cannot afford to honor your request.
That's right. The world's a big place with all
Yeah,
kinds
the
of
princess
things
does not have any money.
after all. Huh? What's wrong, Fischl?
Fear not, Paimon. Mein Fräulein is not ill.
My left eye sees your fate and its truth. This is a very long official yap. I'd expect nothing less from official yap.
Noble and pure. Is that the kind of person Paimon is?
Yeah, definitely. The foul. Purge yourself from the foul taint of Mora. That which means to plunge your world into darkness. Should I just do it my way? Should I do it my Chuny way? In the name of the Prinzessin, Paimon, you must completely purge from yourself the foul taint of Mora. That which means to plunge your world into darkness and despair.
Completely purged the taint
There you go, I
of
did it
Mora?
my way.
That is precisely mein Fräulein's meaning. Not a single Mora.
Not even one?
Not even a penny.
Hey, why are you all looking at Paimon like that? You don't seriously think she was asking for Mora,
I mean,
do
you did.
It was a joke! It's been a while since we saw each other.
Paimon
so
is not
Paimon
great at
was
making
right.
jokes, let's be real.
And it's so nice
She's
to
great at
see
being
you
a
again,
joke.
Fischl. Oz.
She's not good
What are
at
you doing here
making
anyway?
jokes. That this convocation is being held to revise the... You know who's kind of... You know what's kind of funny? I just had the realization that Milchick in Severance is kind of a Chuny character. Mostly in his vocabulary choice, right? Like that's kind of a theme of his character. He likes using big words. Not highly educated, but Milchick is kind of Chuny. He's kind of Western Chuny, right?
And what's that?
I know it's German. I just can't speak it at all. There's a manual circlet among the mind retainers. Okay. Did you just give us a Bible? Is that what she just did? She gave us her Bible. I think she literally just gave us a Bible for her cult mindset. It's a dictionary. Okay. This manual shall guide them toward the all-surpassing world, the terminus of the universe, the place of rest that shall shatter fate, the end of causality itself. German word I can't speak.
Wow! That
The Fictionary, yeah.
sounds super impressive.
Simply put, it is a tome that can translate
Oh, I can
Fräulein's speech
it's a
into
translation.
common tongue.
Okay, so it's
As such,
official
the
dictionary.
adventurers
All right.
have taken to calling it the official dictionary.
All right. Western Chuny is really just a band theater kid. Yeah, that's true.
Yes, but please be aware that using anything other than its official title is quite
Oh yes,
disrespectful.
definitely.
It is formally named the Heilige Edikta der Verurteilung.
Yeah.
We will have to make sure that this is noted in the revised version.
Wait a minute!
So does this imply that Fischl made a translation? Like she made a book to translate her nonsense for other people? Fischl's like, other people don't understand what I'm saying when I'm saying it. So instead of speaking differently, here's a dictionary. No. I'll put in the extra work so that you can adapt around me. I'm not going to adapt around you. Oh, the Adventurers Guild made it. Okay. It would have been better, I think, if Fischl made it. It's a very Chuny way of reaching out if she had made it, but oh well. If the event, I missed that the
Mein
Adventurers
Fräulein
Guild made
means
it.
to say that she will let you see the book once editing is complete.
Okay.
Wow!
That's so
Oh wait,
nice
she's
of you,
editing it
Keisha.
at least. So yeah, she is putting in work to help other people understand her nonsense, which is really funny. I like it. It's like, I'm not gonna give up doing my nonsense, but you know, here, you adapt around me. She is trying. Alright.
What mein Fräulein means to say is,
We'll be done
we'll be
soon.
done
Stop
soon.
rushing.
That sounded a lot colder post-trans.
My apologies. Allow me to rephrase. What mein Fräulein means to say is, come on, we're almost done, so don't rush me.
She got lonely, so she couldn't communicate, but to communicate, so yeah, Comey can't communicate, yeah. Comey can't communicate is a little bit different, which, by the way, one of the best, like, first episodes of a show, and then it just flounders into, like, meme. Like, it's just a silly meme show. It made me sad. I don't know. It felt like it was really good at the very start, and then it, meh. Apparently that was the one book I didn't get here, which is kind of funny. So anyways, wait, I can get the book? Where do I get the book? Where do I get the book? I want to read the book. Anyways, play. Well. Alright, no more Mondstadt anyways, which is fine. Right. No one else here. Alright, cool. Kokomi? What? Kokomi? Wait, is there one in Kokomi? One for Kokomi? Do 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 do. Nope. Unless she's somewhere else. Nothing yet. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna guess this isn't voiced. Put music back on.
Long was the
Oh,
road,
never
and
mind.
treacherous the way. As we guarded our clients, many trials and tribulations did we endure.
How could I be? I just...
Okay, so Shenha's just staring at these two separated people that are...
As clouds by morning, as rain by night, I dwell ever in the mountain
sorry.
sight. Though we could
I could not help
I
but
thought of you every single
laugh.
day we were
It's
apart.
adorable to do this in public, but it's also really funny.
Oh, May.
Oh,
She was just
May.
saying that we haven't been to one Min restaurant in a while. Well, we've got time
Oh,
today, so
May.
we decided to swing by for some lunch.
It's out buying some ingredients. Alright. Deep in thought. Hopefully laughing at these people. What? Is that on purpose? This is one of those cases where, like, I don't know if that's on purpose or not. Cannel? Is that on purpose? I cannel. Oh god. Alright. Oop. Oh, too big still. Oops. I really gotta set up hotkeys for doing zooms like this, so I don't have to do this manually every time. Alright.
Oh, really? What can you cook then?
I'm guessing it was not on purpose. It was just an accident. And it's funny.
Awesome! Those are some of our favorites.
Okay. So you're just cooking for us. Alright.
That's right. Paimon the Great
Probably turned
Gourmand
aisle
and
to
master
I
of
can
countless
and miss it, yeah.
delicacies is here to give you some tips today.
Yeah, the funny part, yeah, that can't doesn't even, because she was trying to say that she can cook for us. So, yeah, I can will.
Let's go!
Also, isn't this Xiangling's restaurant? Is Shenhe just allowed to come in here?
Veggies got chopped in a heartbeat.
Are we allowed to just come in here and like, hey, hey, look at this food that was in this. Look at this food that was in this restaurant. Shenhe works here? She does? I did not know that. How did I not? What? Oh, it happened in Shunny's story quest. Ah, interesting. Okay. Oh dear.
The flame a bit too
Okay.
high? Oh, hey, Shenhe! Smoke's pouring out from beneath the stove!
Seems fine. Does this happen often? Should Shenhe be left alone to work here? No, I didn't do Shunny's story quests. I tend not to do story quests. Why? Because I refuse to do them. I generally speaking refuse to do them unless they're characters I really like. When they get added, because too often I end up feeling like they're just let's make this character feel charming, relatable in some form, so you want to pull them. But then I forget to do their story quest later. So I don't know.
Wait!
At some point I could definitely do a story quest stream where like you guys could vote on what story quest I do.
The chili chicken's taken on a whole new texture after being flash frozen. Have we?
Ah, yes, melt
discovered
reaction.
a
Perfect.
new dish by accident?
Sylveon.
Delicious! Come try some, you two.
Hello there. Are you
Hello
open
there.
for business right now?
Yep.
Oh, looks like more customers are starting to show up. Guess you should get back to work, Shen.
Mm-hmm.
Sunset Red Tours. You sure?
Oh, come on. We can work on the name later.
Sending your
What I'm telling you
elderly
is that
family
sending your
out.
elderly
What?
family out on tours is a thing youngsters do to show their filial piety nowadays. So
What?
they say. It's a business opportunity not to be missed.
What? Oh, I should play music again. What? What does this mean? Telling you is that sending your elderly family out on tours. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this is like a way of like saying, send your parents to the nursing home or whatever. It feels like a rephrasing, like of like, no, I sent my mom to the nursing home. But I think it's meant to be buying your parents a vacation. I think that's what it meant to be. It's meant to be, but I don't know. My brain definitely thought it was like something slightly different. Oh, okay. Anyways, yeah. I think buying them a vacation is what it's meant
Could
to be.
we order, please?
No. All right. That was an amusing one, somewhat. Wait, I can talk to him. That tour group you mentioned.
Are you interested in?
Senior
Goodness,
Joy Tours.
Our name is,
Alright.
in truth, Senior Joy Tours.
That would be a name of a
Go-to
nursing
choice
home
for all
too.
filial young folks
Let's
looking
be
to
real.
treat their parents or grandparents.
Am I white? Yes. Is this shocking news?
Ah, yes. And here's the itinerary.
Okay. Alright. Alright. Send Chung Yun to the nursing home. There you go. I'll play the Robin song again. What? Does this break your worldview, Lunar Rhythm, that I'm white? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have said before how I'm a white boy. It is not something I've tried to hide. Where can we find that nursing home? I don't know. Here, let me do a Google search. Nursing homes. I'm gonna do it in like California, but not in California. Oh, never mind. Okay. I thought they would have like weird names like that, but they don't really. Just like they're just named after areas, which is boring. I thought there would be weird names like Senior Joy's Nursing Home. Anyways. Alright, yeah, it's presumably a vacation service. Wow. Where are we going? Jin probably up here, I assume. What? Okay, I just figured she would do that. Oh, there she is. Okay, I thought she was gonna be like performing though. Alright, hello. You, of course. I mean, no. Insurance, hello? What does that mean? How Can I Refuse is a villain song the villain in Premium Girl sings from Barbie's Princess and the Pauper. Iconic song if you ask me. I don't really want to get copyright claims on this video. But I suspect if that's from a movie it's going to get a copyright claim. I will play video game music. Video game music, well, not all video game music. Most video game music is generally pretty free. Oh boy. Is this one? I don't know how loud this song gets. Oh, that's fine, I think. Yeah, pinking. Yeah, Mattel song, movie song is probably operated. My Little Pony Equestria Girl Rainbow Rock songs. Again, I suspect there might be risk of copyright claim for something like that. But I'll add it to the list and play it. Or I'll not play it here, but listen to it myself. I'll listen to any kind of music. How Can I Refuse? Pretty sure I've heard the Equestria Girls songs before. I thought she was a director for some reason. I thought they were mostly just an actor. Was Yoonjin Farina before Farina? That was a simple one. Alright. Zhongli? Is it not gonna spawn anymore? I was told... Oh, there it is. There's not a Diana. Okay. Yeah, I was told that... Oh, is Xingqiu over there? Okay. I was told that they just indefinitely spawn now, later in the patch. Until you do them all, at least. So, anyways, yeah, Caesar's Gat Moe is good, yeah. This was definitely not what I expected from her character when she released, but it made me like her more. She's an opera singer? Yeah, I knew that. Hello. You voice? Nope. This Kokomi's good. Zoifit. This is more ZZ music. This is just one of the generic combat songs. Not exactly the vibe for Zhongli, I will say. Bernice song when? I don't know, whenever it shuffles to it. I'm surprised this is in the top. Like, to be clear, I shuffled like the top several hundred songs from Hoya Mix. I'm slightly surprised one of Zenless's like generic music combat stuff is just in this. Okay, it's like too. I don't dislike this song, but it's like too discordant with like the line, like just Zhongli. So we skip it. I'm sorry. There, this is just whatever background music for Genshin. That's it? Okay. I guess I didn't have to skip. So the question is, was he lying? Was he lying or not? Was he actually getting books for Hutao? Possible. What more do I have to do? I'm not against the idea of doing more. They're actually kind of enjoyable. But, okay, we need to do 6 more. Alright. How good Honkai 3 music? I'm offended not even one has shown up yet. Sorry. I don't know. There might be some in there. I have no idea. I have to go check how far down Honkai 3 music shows up in the top song listing. Oh yeah, this one. I did this one on Poems only, I think. Or some account. I don't remember which one. Oh yeah, he appears at night, doesn't he? I don't recognize this. Is this like a Lao Fu song? Character song or something? What is this? Sounds like a Star Wars song. Blade. Ah, okay. I was right. Okay, I wanted him to just spawn at nighttime, but I wanted to see him appear out of thin air. Maybe he appears later. Okay. How nighttime does it have to be? Has to be night? Alright. Oh, dang it. I wanted to see him appear out of thin air. I mean, he kind of did still, but... This music is kind of fitting for him. At least the ending was. Would be kind of fun if we could actually fight him here. Imagine if we could have some parry gameplay with Kazuha. Oh, that's it. Alright. You're Jin again. Alright. I think we had down. Alright. Do we have Kokomi yet? Nope. Nope. Alright. I didn't know there were any. I'm glad there is somebody in Inazuma, but I didn't even know there was any. What? Come on. Whoop, what? Well, it's been a while since I got hit by pigs. It is indeed that bore. Don't know if I'll need this, but maybe. I'm sure there's at least one character. Actually, I think freaking Chung Yun needs him. If I choose to level him more, which I probably will. Yeah, he doesn't need them, so good. What? Poor boar. Well, it shouldn't have attacked me. It got quite literally what it was asking for. Ran into me. It failed the survival of the fittest. Why are you using that weapon? Blacklift's weapon. Is that a hint at something? Blacklift Forge is still an area we haven't been able to go to, right? Practicing swordsmanship, alright. Practicing penmanship with a sword. Where's Fav? True. Okay. So he calls his sword form calligraphy. Alright, sure. Black Forge expansion next line to right. I could see it. Feels weird seeing it in his normal clothes. I was indifferent towards his skin and kind of like this one more, so I kept him on his old skin. Although I don't know if he actually appears. Does he appear in his skin if you have him on his skin? Here? I'm not sure. I wonder what this is. I guess I should turn this up. I'm sure people want to hear it. Bye. Oh god, this might be louder than I expected. No, it's fine. Yeah, no, it's fine. I couldn't remember how it went. Amber again, alright. What? Did not expect to see Kaya and Clea up here for the Yunjin thing. Yunjin, you changed. Mm-hmm. Is that right? Hey, it's Yunjin. Don't do it. Don't teach her anything. She's gonna fling bombs everywhere if you do it. Didn't mean to skip that line, but oh well. What if you put bombs on the spear? I think that would still probably whip bombs around all around the place, but seems dangerous. Is there no voices in English? I mean, there is voices in for some of the characters, but not very many. Song Light. Song The Light Beyond from the game Sky. Children of Light is a good song. Let me look up the Sky Children of Light. MMO by that game company. Well, if I get a copyright strike, Genshin Impact main theme. If I get a copyright strike, Cannoli, I'm never gonna trust you or anyone ever again. Children of Light. Maybe it's not on Apple Music, but I don't know if this album is on. I found covers of the song on Apple Music, but so rip. Actually, maybe this is it. Wait. Can I? Apple Music. I hate Apple Music's UI. Like, Apple, I want to view the artist or the album. Like, Jesus Christ, look at this. Like, I did a search Children of Light. This might be it, but I don't know. I'm only guessing it might be the OST because of the album art, right? But like, I can't go to the album to like view the album closer without like, ugh. Whatever. Why are we logging into Genshin? Yeah, I know. It's called The Light Beyond. Oh, what? I thought it was called... Okay. Again, Apple, let me go. I don't want to...
Take a break after all that.
The problem is, if I click on this, it deletes my current queue. I want to view the album, you godforsaken company. I guess it's down here. I can click on it down here. Is this the album? This one? How are you playing Genshin on iOS, macOS? I'm using Apple Music in a browser. Apple Music works on a website, yo. Is that just an Aurora live album? Okay, then, so no, never mind. I just thought this might have been, I don't know. I don't know if I can find this, and I don't want to play something that's going to get me a copyright strike if this is not it. Wow. So, okay, sorry, I don't know. There's, oh well. Let's continue playing the Genshin stuff. Let's skip that one, actually. Why? Worth. I don't know. Wait, I didn't look if it was the... I don't know if this is the one with lyrics or not. I prefer the ones with lyrics, but... it's the... Not really lyrics, but it's the... Yeah, okay. What is it doing? Oh yeah, Chi-Chi, I guess. Woba. Yeah, this one is original me, first take version. Can I play the Chinese one? You know, I will, yeah. A little loud.
Stars 被湮灭在霓虹的夜，视线锁起如同荒诞的谎言。 reality fake show life，深入简单，输出附件，思考周间世界将碎片般分裂。想要的一切，触手可及之前是不是最让人眷恋？拥有喜悦，厌倦，在被欲望支配无尽中沦陷。再不会让承诺被敷衍，不让真心被曲解。没有语言。
Why is everyone cooking here? This would be I was trying to let the the visual of Yao Yao being as tall as Baiju is a funny visual. Chung Yun. Double checking his move. Nope. Assuming it's over there. Is it real? Is there actually a Kokomio? Oh, there is. Okay. Hello, Shenhe. Oh, okay, so she was gonna buy it. I sure hope it's a vacation and not a nursing home. I hope it's a vacation. Most of the restaurant's younger customers have signed their parents up for the most popular group tour round. The tours were designed specifically for seniors. I signed Master up as well. How was she gonna feel about calling her a senior? Senior Joy Tours, yeah.
Mountains tall and rivers wide, come see Lila's wondrous sights.
Very ominous.
Accommodation at special guest suites, tasting authentic local delicacies, traveling. Wow.
Okay, probably a vacation. That's good. It's good. Sending you know, the trip, yeah.
Also, a trip this luxurious.
3 months of first. Okay. What is this song? What is this from? This is not in-game, is it? It has to be a character song, probably, I assume. It's Clarin's trailer song. Ah, I see, okay. So I just noticed it's 5:51 p.m. I have to be done soon. I was gonna do ice bridging, but cancel the registration. No. How much is a deposit? Okay. Did you play D&D with Clorin? Yeah, probably. Why not? I don't know how good of a DM she is, but probably.
No, she's definitely not. But even though she said she didn't want to go, she's really proud of you anyway. You should have seen her smile while we were chatting. Any wider and it would have split her face in two. She's probably just disappointed because she was looking forward to this trip. And it went up in smoke.
We're really getting the not thematically appropriate songs right now. Okay. Clorin's Bloodborne? Yeah. I vibe a little bit. Yep.
What do you think, Traveler? That sounds like a good plan.
Alright. Presumably there's probably one more Shenhe anecdote. Or Shenhe / Chung Yun anecdote.
We're spoiled for choice, though.
I've never heard this one. You know, when I did music here, I thought we would get more music that was just like vibe background music for whatever dialogue was going on. Not this. It's not a bad song, it just like doesn't really match the vibe I was thinking was going to happen here. Alright, how many more do I have to do? Because I would like to try to get done with 20. I'll do more maybe in the future because they're fun. Alright, one more. One more. Alright. And then we do one attempt for an ice bridge. Alright, well, we don't really get much of a choice. Alright. Please. I think I'm more interested in Amber's, even though it's a little bit more of a walk. Better take the path. Where are you? Where are you? There you are. Hello. Dendro slime combat. This is just the just the leeway music. Yep. It's 4 minutes long. My God, why is this song 4 minutes long? I don't know if I've ever listened to this full song. Skip it? I mean, I could. Crayon drawing, okay. Alright, well, that was a simple one, I guess. Amber is just looking for Razor. Alright. Yeah, I don't know, I kind of enjoy these. They're kind of cool. It would be definitely, like, I think the Chung Yun Shenhe one kind of lost some of its impact, particularly not having voice acting. So, you know, that one would have been better in Japanese, because I think just hearing the emotion in the voice acting would have been better, right? I will admit to that one. Usually I'm not on the side of, like, caring about that. But that's because, generally speaking, the delivery in most of Genshin's, like, dialogue is not very emotional, and it's much more, you know, reading lines. And that's why I don't think it matters, that part of why I don't think it matters that much for me. They're not voiced too often, it's just the weird contrast. But the Shenhe Chung Yun one feels like if Chung Yun was, like, voice acted in a way like you could properly hear the emotion in her voice and whatever, that probably would have been better in Japanese. But yeah, anyways. Yeah, Mahoya likes to communicate with their arm motions more than with the voice actor. But oh well. Anyways, how is this song this long? It's crazy. I know you said to skip it. I'm sorry, but I wanted to hear if there's anything new. All right, we do one ice bridging attempt. One ice bridging attempt. All right. And I gotta go because it's D&D time for me.
Need the help of an elder, huh?
Wait. I gotta. Sorry. Good start. That didn't count. Why was Charlotte? Watch the previous video, but the Charlotte is the point of the challenge, because why in the world? It's literally not an interesting thing to do with any other character. This is actually a somewhat of a challenge to do with Charlotte. Oh my god, okay. I'm not gonna speak, I'm gonna focus, by the way. Ignoring you guys, sorry. I want a real... See, this is why I said I wasn't gonna speak. I want a real attempt. Not go to the side. Oh my god, I hate it. Why is it going to the side so much? Stop it. I'm slowly moving right. It's so much more annoying to adjust for them. Oh, whoops. Oh. Alright. Charlotte is faster than Risley. Part of the reason of using Charlotte is that like there could actually be like real competitive value to optimizing and people like, trying to get better times traversing with Charlotte. Oh crap. While it also being a challenge. And I am not doing a speed optimized way of doing this by any means. I'm doing the way of I need to first do the simple thing of crossing the ocean first before I care about optimizing my speed. Charge attack can be used, but charge attack takes a long time, or a lot of stamina. Of course we're serious about April Fool's challenges. No. Well. It was an attempt. It was an attempt. Rip. Rip indeed. Whatever. I'll probably practice more during D&D today. Alright, speaking of, I gotta go for D&D. Thanks for watching. It was a yap, productive yap stream, I think. Next song. Inazuma song. Nice. Alright. So, anyways, if I have meaningful thoughts about the real adventures, I will put those thoughts in Discord. I suspect I won't have meaningful thoughts about them. Stream tomorrow? Probably not, but probably will stream on Tuesday. I want to do a unit review stream at some point here, but probably will have to wait until after the new patch, so probably we'll do some kind of waiting room stream on Tuesday. Hopefully we'll have a banner yap video out maybe on Tuesday as well, assuming they announce the banners tomorrow. So yep, anyways, bye bye.